Here we go. Hey, Lahua, miss you. Nice to see you. Okay, we are live everywhere. Happy Friday. Tap the screen. I miss you. I know, I miss you guys. I miss you all. Sorry I was not here yesterday. It's just, I've been on so much I'm on antibiotics, I don't know if I can say name brand of antibiotics, but yeah, it's just, when I have sinus infections and stuff, I just don't feel well all the time. My face hurts. Everything hurts. I literally slept or sat in the dark for like 10 hours yesterday, which was good. I think I needed to. It's just, Arizona right now is just a giant wall of dust and humidity. It's just not good to be outside. It's not healthy, and this happens to me all the time. It just hurts. Everything hurts. Okay, thank you so much for the gifts. Tap the screen again if you would like to subscribe. Please do. People were telling me this week it was hard. They couldn't buy multiple subscriptions. Hopefully that's been fixed. I don't know. If you would like to subscribe, please do. It is always much appreciated. Tap the screen. Most importantly, tap. Let's get to 100K as fast as possible. Share the live. If you want to subscribe, the star in the bottom left corner is subscription. The arrow in the bottom right corner is how you share the live. If you don't have anyone to share it with, just hit that copy link button. It counts as a share and it's much appreciated. And follow me all across the internet. If you are not part of the Discord, join the all of that. If you want to follow me on Twitch, on YouTube, on X or TikTok, wherever you're watching from. If you're not following me on other platforms, please do. You can do all of that from my link tree, and it is much appreciated. But most importantly, join the Discord as well. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, we are good. Let me just take a big drink of water because I feel like I'm losing my voice. Okay, tap the screen and I will be right back. Okay, much better. Now, God, I know this is going to be, I'm suffering with seasonal. I know everyone, that's what I'm saying. And I want to say this, I think on Wednesday, I was I've had one of the worst summers of my life with seasonal allergies, sinuses. And then I'm so's everyone else. So I can't say anything. And then I was also and also this for mental health, depression, anxiety. This has also been the worst summer of my life. And then I'm in a weird way, it's comforting, but I don't wish this on anyone, but I've never felt so not alone in my life with sinus. If you go to anybody, you're hey, I'm so depressed. They're yeah, me too. My life's falling apart. No one's alone anymore about being miserable. I used to feel God, it seems everyone's okay. And I don't feel okay. And now everyone's I'm not okay. I'm finally, yeah, I can barely, when you just push and then turn your head back and things are draining down your throat. That's how it is for me right now. But I have all the antibiotics. I'm on the lung steroids and stuff, but that affects sleep. So I did get a ton of sleep yesterday. I slept all day yesterday because I hadn't slept well. You can sleep but not sleep. That's what's been going on with me for a long time. So yesterday when I didn't do a live, I slept morning until I was where am I? It was 5:30 p.m. I was okay. The camaraderie is high. Exactly. It's never been a better time to be nuts. It's never been a better time to be depressed, crazy. It's all going great now for all of us. I'm finally oh, now you all get it. Thank you. My friends are oh, okay, now I get what you've been talking about. It's horrible. Anxiety is horrible. I'm yes, it is. And I'm sorry that we all have to go through a fascist, authoritarian takeover of a bunch of uneducated fools in order to all get on the same page about mental health. But it's nice to be here. Thank you guys all for joining the rest of us. Yeah, we all have exactly. My skin's going. It's stress. No, I have no. Yeah, that's the melanin. That's being a hybrid. That's the indigenous sub-Saharan African German mix in me. Okay, I want to say this because, well, let's tap the screen, get some more people in here, but like, part of me was like, maybe I should just debate people. Because if you were here in the live on Wednesday, I was presenting math about how there's no argument, right? There's no argument about why people are pew-pewing, schools, or, it's about access to pew-pews, period. That's it. There's no argument. I'm not saying we don't have a mental health problem. I just spent a bunch of time talking about my mental health issues. But when it comes to why there are mass pew-pewings in this country at a higher rate than anywhere else in the world, who have even higher rates in some places of mental health issues, of, all sorts of things, it's because of access, right? That's what it is. And I was going over different statistical analyses that prove that. And then I have to see, the usual suspects. Imagine if you were a parent whose child was in that Minnesota pew-pewing. And nothing will happen. There's no recourse. No one's going to help you. No one's going to do anything. You're just going to be gaslit until you're not. Oh, is that what you're... Taco cat. You wanted to talk about it? Okay, well, oh God, I hope that this is going to involve math, or I'm going to get annoyed. I was thinking, okay, let's talk about it. I'm going to do my best. Hold on, I need to do some deep breathing.
Why would you need to do all this?
Why would I need to do some deep breathing before I talk about this? It depends on what. If you're about to bring a statistical analysis, other than
Sure.
Is that you,
Absolutely.
Joey? What are we talking about here?
Well, in the past, like with Columbine and things like that, every time we looked at these kids, we did notice they all, I don't know. I mean, you look about my age, you look about 21. So,
We're all 21. Exactly. That's so kind. Thank you.
And back in my day, bullying was pretty tough. We were raised as tough kids, and we like to push the little kids around sometimes. And, then as it kind of got more with music, and I think dark, heavy music, you could really fall into a level of depression, plus bullyisms, plus your dad owns a pew-pew, and math. So there it is. And today, as we look at maybe the last 7, whether it was Aberdeen or, I'd have to pull up the list. I can do that. But the last 7 were trans ideology. And not only
no,
that,
they weren't. They weren't. That's not, you have to know. Okay, so this is my issue. And I get where you're going. And as far as what you've said so far, these are all just your feelings and your feelings about your childhood. Do you understand that?
So the Denver shooter, Aberdeen, Nashville, Philadelphia, Iowa shooter, Uvalde, Colorado.
No, none of the, no.
Yes, ma'am.
No, as far as who, I mean, there's, to my knowledge, and hold on, let me just.
It's okay.
I can pull it. No, you're saying the last. Let me just make sure. I don't want to, because I'm in a bad mood about this, and I tried to talk to people about this offline, and they said something similar. So I just want to make sure I understand your claim before I prove you're wrong. You're saying that the last 7 mass pew-pewings in schools.
I don't know about the last 7.
That is what you just said.
Stand on that.
Okay, let's stand. Okay, so you lied. Okay, so no, you. Okay,
Man,
so I just
want. Do that. Don't get yourself in a bundle. That's why I named the city.
Excuse me. If you are going to publicly be on my platform and make up lies, I will challenge you. I know for a fact what you're saying is not true already. The minute you said, and I just want to repeat your claim before I make you look stupid. Your claim was that the last 7 mass pew-pewings at schools the pew-pewers were people who were transitioning. That is a pathological lie that you made up.
So
No.
I said Denver,
Okay,
Aberdeen.
I don't want to
Iowa.
mute you, but you made up a lie. So, and if I had just been like, "Oh, I didn't know
let you
that.
rant it
I'm a woman with a tiny
let you rant it
brain,"
out until we
then
have
I
a
would literally. I mean, truly, if I didn't know a lot more than you, I would have just let that pass on by and be like, "Oh, I didn't know that." That's a pathological lie. And if I didn't challenge it, it's not like you were like, "Oh, I misspoke." I asked you before I started calling you a liar. I said, "Are you sure? Are you sure?"
Well, ma'am, that's why I said Denver, Aberdeen.
My name's
Nashville,
Felice. You
Philadelphia,
can call me Felice, by the way.
Iowa, Uvalde, Colorado, and
No.
Minnesota.
Okay, so you just named a bunch of things that are untrue. Hold on.
That's what I want to stand on.
Hold on, I'm debating something else. Oh, that's what you're standing on is how many did you list? Because Uvalde is, that's
Denver.
not true.
Denver, Aberdeen, Nashville, Philadelphia, Iowa.
God, and you got them all
Uvalde,
wrong.
Minnesota.
All of those are wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prove it to me.
I
You
will
want to start with
prove it
number
to
one?
you. Hold
Want
on.
to start with number one, Denver? And we go down the list.
Wait, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm talking about. Schools.
The Denver shooter, correct.
In what are you talking about?
What?
What school? You're just naming a city that exists inside the U.S.? I have no idea what you're talking about.
I got you.
We're talking about mass tragedies in schools. So, yeah, that's what I'm asking you. But hold on a second. I already have this information, but I'm thinking about something else. Hold on. Okay, Fuzzy, I'm going to let you... okay, I'm going to let Fuzzy up because I do like him. And as long as we're going to just be doing this.
On May 7th.
Hold on one second. One second. Hey, Fuzzy.
How's it going? So I can call you out, and I was actually just looking.
I didn't know you knew. Fuzzy's a nurse, so I thought maybe you'd have something to contribute. Sorry. And then I have this. I just have to find my Microsoft document on this. But yeah, go ahead, Fuzzy.
Well, I was just going to say, so I saw this list earlier today, and it's literally the exact same order that he's putting them in.
Right.
I can already tell.
I know. I saw it too.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can tell you right off the bat, and we can bring up Brett. I can get a hold of Brett real fast. Uvalde, you're not correct. I know who the Uvalde is, and
All do because we can read.
Uvalde
right.
shooter.
I'm not going to bring up. I'm not going to bring up that name because I just out of respect for Brett.
I said, Uvalde, you're making up a lie. Brett is a man, like one of our close other creators on this app and friend. His son was unalived in Uvalde, ripped in half.
Trans woman identified as Uvalde shooter. I'm looking at the guy in a dress right now in stockings.
Yeah,
Next.
that's not. Yeah, so that's not. I don't know what you're looking at. That's not real.
So he's not trans?
No, whatever you're looking at is not trans. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate to tell you this though.
Let's take a look here. Let's get some more.
Hey, I will get into. I can mathematically prove you wrong about everything you're saying, but that's why I'm just giving him the rope to hang himself. I don't like to let bigotry go on, but just so you know. Wait, what is your? I'm sorry. What would you like me to refer to you as? I don't want. I know your name's Taco Cat, but what do you
You
want?
can say it forward or backwards. Your choice.
Cat Taco?
No, ma'am. It's the same forward and backwards.
I don't know what you're saying.
So you can say my name forward or backwards. It's the same.
Oh, okay, I got you. What is that? Is it a palindrome?
I don't know what they call it yet.
Yeah, I think it is a palindrome.
Palindrome is what. Yeah. But,
Yeah, it's called a palindrome. You're into wordplay and have no idea what the words are.
Yep.
So I was actually just in.
Oh, I almost found it. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's one Tennessee, and
Tennessee
then
is the only one that's confirmed.
yeah, that's
Right.
yeah. And I was just double checking because I hate to say the Nashville Covenant School. That's the only one. Every single other one you named is all a lie. I'm
looking at Uvalde.
okay, listen to me. I can make up a list and I can put weird picture. I could make a convincing. Listen, I'm very tech savvy. I could make you look like you're transitioning if I felt like it online. Just as a hobby of mine, I can do that. I'm telling you, that's not true. It's not true. Well, yeah, you can support
Oh God.
the LGBTQIA and not be transitioning. I just want to be very clear. I want to be 100% clear. The only, as when we talk about mass tragedies in schools and the people that perpetrated those, the only people we know who are transitioning, the Nashville Covenant School and what has just happened, which, so I just want to be clear, that's not true. Unless you can provide me, unless you like, or I'll say this to you, because I love to learn. If you want to go down the list one at a time and provide not, hey, somebody made up some weird picture, or there's a picture of this person. I can show you a picture. Let me just explain to you why. I can show you a video right now and a picture of Marjorie Taylor Greene's current boyfriend. You know the guy when Zelensky the first time was in the White House who's like, why aren't you in a suit? I can show you a video of him cross-dressing right now.
Well, I guess my best.
No, wait. So my point is, I can show you, and I could show you. I think, let me just off the top of my head that I have just now in outlines, I can show you 4 other videos of Republican men cross-dressing who are very much straight or in dresses. So wait, I just need to not let this point go because you are spreading a lot of misinformation and disinformation. Okay, so let me finish. Just because a man, for Marjorie Taylor Greene's current boyfriend, decide to cross-dress has nothing to do with gender identity and transitioning. Do you understand the difference between those two things? Because it sounds like you have no idea. You're saying that if ever in life, so then Brian Glenn, Marjorie Taylor Greene's current boyfriend, is trans. I mean, there's videos of him cross-dressing, which I don't believe that, but I'm just explaining to you how logic works. You are incorrect. You are making false claims that are not true. Well, I did, and you listed out a bunch of lies that I had to correct, and now you need to understand the difference between gender identity and seeing a picture of somebody in a dress.
Maybe I could reframe the question. Well, let's look at the ones I named, and rather than say they're trans, why don't we just debate if they're in support of it? How would that sound?
I'm sorry, what in the hell? So I just want to be clear, because now this is dumber. So you're now on your new point is that if you, and I just want to say, like,
Republicans kind of feel that some of these kids are going through a lot of.
Yeah, you feel. Thank you. You feel.
And
we're
starting to notice.
Thank you. You feel.
Man, you got to let other people talk.
I don't have to let you make up lies.
Well,
I don't. And I just want to be clear. I don't
control.
I should let you make up lies on my platform that I built?
Your truth? Oh my God.
Let me tell you something, how debate works. And I have to mute you because you're so dumb. And I don't like to be interrupted. I'm interested. How speech and debate works is not. You started your last sentence with, I feel like. Republicans feel. Your feelings have nothing to do with fact, reality, statistical analysis. That's why I don't like doing this. This is like, I'm supposed to literally, I know, I can see he's going, but this is why I will not debate people online anymore. Like, it's, first of all, primarily and always an insult to my own intelligence and the time I spend building outlines for the people's receipts in this show. And second of all, it's just insecure bigots saying, I feel like, hey, I was searching around on X and other uneducated idiot bigots feel this. And I'm here to report on insecure, uneducated bigots' feelings. And that's why I think it's so harmful to even be debating on the internet. Hey, do you have any data, sir? Absolutely not. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you were in my live, I already went through all this. And I just want to say this. It doesn't matter who anyone is, because if you can do math, which bless Taco Cat's heart, he can't do math at all. I do love palindromes, though. I'll give him that. I love a palindrome, but love.
He didn't come up with that on his own.
Oh, of course not. But I just want to, I was talking about this. Here, sorry. I have to just pull this up. So people can
real quick as you're doing that, the only one I can confirm out of all those was the Tennessee one.
Yeah, that's the
and
only one anyone can.
Right.
If we're
So-
talking
and we
about
can
mass
confirm-
pew-pewings in schools, that is the only confirmed.
And he did say the last 7. And by his
Just and by the way, they weren't the last 7. I'm pretty sure when he was saying Denver, because he said it out loud prior to him, he was talking about Columbine or something. Like, which
Oh, is that Columbine? Yeah,
I
couldn't
think
even
that's
figure
what
out-
he was trying. Yeah, I think that's what he was trying to say. Like he
It might
that.
have been.
Yeah, no, I'm 99.9%
I couldn't
sure
find-
that's
yeah,
what
I couldn't
that
even
word I
find
was
the
talking
Denver one.
about. Like,
So, and then
and again, if anyone else wants to, as long as I'm sitting here annoyed and about to talk about this, if somebody else wants to talk about, or let's say, I want to say debate, I hesitate to use that word with MAGA because you guys are not.
someone is saying Alec McKinney. Yeah, let me teacup out. Let me look that up.
Yeah,
Alec
you
McKinney.
look it up. Thank you. Hey, Toodle. Or Toodle might have more information because he's a
I have a lot of
genius.
things plugged in there. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, cool. I just want to say I did see a gun pew pew advocacy center had a study in 2023, I think it was. Out of 4,400 mass pew pew events, 0.11% were transgender committed. 1 in 880.
Oh, I'm getting there. Don't you worry. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, like, this is how insecure men's brains work. Or, in my opinion, just like the pew-pewer that we saw 2 days ago now, not yesterday. What was it? Wednesday morning. Sorry, it seems like it's been a week because of these tragedies. Like, I used to be a teacher, so this stuff literally makes me, it's like I feel like I'm frozen in time and can't move. I just can't even imagine. And I taught at a K through 8 religious school for a year, and and I used to have to go to chapel every Wednesday morning, and it's just like I'm just imagining, like, what if that had happened while I was in school? I just can't. But yeah, I mean, so the argument is, right, and I was going to go through this with clips, but then we had an actual live idiot come up here and make an argument that makes no mathematical sense, right? We have a bunch of people, I have a clip saying, we need to look in to trans people and why they're trying to unalive people, right? And what was that statistic you said, Toodle? Can you just read that again?
It was 0.11%, 1 in 880, and the records were 4,400 events, and this was in 2023. So by that math, there are several, yes, but not many. Almost 0.
And that's just mass pew-pewings. Like, I believe what Taco Cat was trying to say was the people that attack schools. So, yeah. But even if you look at because I know of another, definitely there, I know of one, in Texas, there was another, so if we're just talking about mass pew-pewing events.
I can only think of 2 myself.
Yeah, I can think of 2 or 3. But when you then retarget it, narrow it down to schools, it's even less. But that's the point, though. I just want to say mathematically, right? How we fight crime is not insecure, uneducated, idiot MAGA men feel like we should do something about the least dangerous group of people in this country. As a matter of fact, they are most... if you want to talk about who's in danger, it's the trans community. They are actually statistically the most likely to be the victims of violence, of violent crimes in this country. It's them. We should actually be concentrating tax dollars to the opposite, to protecting them. And like Toodle did a great job reading those statistics, because the facts are, if we are trying to lower instances of mass tragedies in this country, we would never focus on trans people ever. What's the point? Let's go round up 4 people who are no longer with us. That's not what the problem is. Mathematically speaking, it is always and has been mathematically, because this is not, hey, I'm an insecure white man who has no idea what I'm talking about, and the education system failed me, and I'm advocating for the destruction of the Department of Education idiotically. I'm saying mathematically, it's access to guns. It doesn't matter, and I'm saying it doesn't matter what medication someone's on. It doesn't matter their gender identity. It does not matter their sexual orientation. But if we were looking at all those things, then yes, we'd be targeting far-right, extremist, racist, white males every single time. That's where they all are every single time. Assigned male at birth, far-right extremists. That's the vast majority. I mean, there's like one or two assigned females at birth that ever got involved in any of this. Like, so if you're saying let's identify the problem, it's always assigned male at birth, far-right extremists every single time. Unbelievably disturbed, racist, schmatzy, mustache man, far-right rhetoric. That's who we should be concentrating our tax dollars to do something about. But what my point is, and the actual mathematical solution is, none of that matters, right? It's not about what anyone believes and what medication they're on, who they want to F, what gender they claim to be. None of that has to do with any of this. It only has to do with access to pew-pews. And I can prove that mathematically. This is not I'm not saying my name's Taco Cat. It's spelled the same forwards and backwards. I'm saying mathematically, the only answer to this problem is access to pew-pews. That's it.
Exactly. Here's some more math for you.
I love math.
100% of the next upcoming mass pew-pew events, within 15 seconds, Twitter will blame it on a trans person, a Democrat, or a lefty.
I'm shocked. I'm so shocked.
That's actually interesting to hear. That does not surprise me with what we've heard so far in this one. But that Alan McKinney, so I read 3 articles, just like real quick, look through. Not one of them says anything about him being trans. Not one. Now, he dresses very feminine. He dyes his hair. He looks very, I don't know, lovely, I guess you could say. But no, nothing about being trans. So I don't know where that comes from. Yeah.
It comes from their narrative they want to push every time, that it's going to be, we're going to think about it instantly, even though we know it's not going to be that way. It's going to be, they're trying to plant that in our heads and into the culture and the narrative that your first thought is it's a minority of some kind that we have to blame for this, when we know who it is that's doing it, and they're the majority.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Okay, so that's a great point, though, and then that's my point, like, which is why I got upset at. Other than the general idiocy of everything that gentleman was talking about. And please follow me if you just got here. I appreciate it. Tap the screen. Let's get to 100K as fast as possible. But other than the fact that every word out of Taco Cat's mouth was a feeling that he felt and not backed up by one fact, other than other idiots made a list of things that are untrue, and now I'm going to read that list of untrue information to you. Like, I want to say, are you saying that anybody that does something that might be, let's say, an assigned male at birth, if they dress feminine or if they wear makeup or whatever you want to define that is, then they're a problem? Because I would posit to you that let's take a look at every male in Congress. I've said this so many times. Donald Trump keeps saying that men with a full face of makeup are a problem. Well, then let's start with Donald Trump, the man who has a full face of makeup on every single day. Like, let's talk about the human blow-up sex doll, Matt Gaetz, and the full face of makeup. If you want to go down, if you are trying to imply that being a male who identifies as a male, who their sexual orientation is I am married to I'm attracted to females, and then them either dressing feminine or having makeup on, essentially what I'm trying to describe as doing drag is a problem, then I think we need to take a look at the Republican Party. Let's get their pictures up one by one, and I will present you with evidence that they are guilty of what you fear.
And by that other guy's logic,
JD Vance, what's his name? Captain Jack Sparrow? JD Vance?
Right, exactly. But you can literally go to my high school yearbook, my senior year yearbook, and see me dressed in a woman's cheerleading outfit. It's that close. There's several pictures of me dressed. I'm not gonna say in drag, but as a woman, because I've done it several times. It's entertaining as shit, especially on Halloween. And I've been hit on. I have been hit on as a woman. I've dressed as olive oil at bartending.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess you were now predisposed to school pew-pewings. KLT asked me if I'm a dude. I would like to address that. I'm very interested by this. Like, there are qualities that are assigned to men, which is intelligence, aggression, like, you know, I am a Division I athlete. I'm assigned female birth. I guarantee you anything you're good at, KLT, I'm better. My brain works better. I can jump higher. I literally run 10 miles a day. So if by every standard of what dumbass MAGA men consider a man, then yes, I am more of a man than you will ever be in your life. I just happen to be a woman. I'm 5'9" 3/4. I bet you're like 5'3" and somewhere feeling really sad about yourself and you look terrible. You are welcome to come up here and put your camera on, refute anything of what I'm saying right now, because I don't want to say something about you that isn't true. But I have noticed, like, whenever someone's like says that to me, like, are you a man? Like, yeah, it seems like the characteristics that are assigned to men is intelligence, physical strength, height, right? Like, yeah, all of those things, I would say, of 99% of insecure idiots on the internet, I'm more of a man than you. I just happen not to be. And you can check my profile. I happen to be a super hot woman that you will never touch in your life.
By the way, on our wedding day, remind me to get 2-inch heels, because you got me by about an inch.
We have a great show, Felice.
What? Oh, no, but like, I'm not insecure about that. Like, yeah, when you happen to be better at men than everything, they're like, are you a man? I would say that too if I was an insecure loser. That's the point of the patriarchy, right? Shit rolls downhill. Men feel bad about themselves and they're like, let me punch down on someone else. You're just talking to the wrong person. Like, you're an insignificant, insecure weirdo who's trying to make me feel bad about who I am. And I promise you, on your best day, yeah, I'm more of a man than you, 100%, and I'm not a man. So you should think about that. Think about why there are a bunch of women who are more of men than you are, and then you should probably crawl into the fetal position and not be on the internet anymore.
Man, Felice is hot as hell, you guys.
Oh yeah, check it. Yeah, check it out. I mean, and check out the famous people. No, I'm just kidding. I shouldn't say things like that. Yeah, trust me. The general consensus in the world is that I'm hot as hell. I look way worse online than I do in real life too.
You were going to start name dropping.
I won't. I actually I've signed NDAs. I'm just saying. I know how good looking I am. Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself. And worry about, like, and that's the other thing. It's always people who will not turn their camera on. Like, you guys know. I'm sure you guys know Ken Ray, right?
Yeah.
That was
the greatest.
Since I first started.
I know. He's been harassing me for 2 years, and Matt made him turn his camera on, and he was like a dying old man with an oxygen mask, and I'm like, you've been attacking my appearance for 2 years.
I saw that the other day. And granted, yeah, back in the 70s, he was an attractive guy. That is not the case now. I saw when he did that, and oh my God, the guy looked like death. But
this is the point. I don't care. I call myself a sapiosexual, well, by definition, that's what I am. I don't care what anyone looks like. I'm attracted to people's intelligence, and that's my disgust with MAGA men in general. I just want to say I've dated men and women that are much shorter than me, like much less athletic, but their brains worked. They were brilliant, empathetic, lovely people. Like, that's the difference. What are you contributing to society, Magaben?
Felice, that's
Oh,
right.
the house tour. Are you talking Aunt B? Are you talking about the Ken Ray house tour? He only got like 20 yards before he had to sit down. He got 20 yards. He got 20 yards. It was super, super weird. Matt literally, Matt has like, I actually have way more. I actually feel bad about that. Matt was like, no, this is what he gets for stalking you. And I'm like, he has been bullying me. Okay, wait, let's see who's this person is really quick. Because I have some people in the request. Let's just see. Hello? I need to reset some goals. Are you there? And by the way, I just want to say, we were talking, if you are just joining, we were talking about school pewers. We had a guest up here who tried to say that they're all trans folk, and that notion is a complete lie, which we disabuse that person of. But if you do want to like talk about it, or you have opinions about it, like opposite opinions, I would prefer with information. You're welcome to request, or along anything that has to do with the Republican Party. It's just, I like fact-based, evidence-driven, well, more specifically data-driven information. And it seems like we're getting away from that in society. And let me just read a couple of things. And I went over some of this on Wednesday and then I added to it, but I just want to be clear. It doesn't matter who your sexual orientation, your gender identity. It doesn't matter. None of this matters when you actually can do math. Oh my God. Thank you for the tiny diny. I love tiny dinies. Thank you for all the gifts.
Are the best.
I know. What is up with that diny? I just love it. Yeah, go ahead.
The chat. Two people in the chat, or at least two people. Fuzzard, I almost said my real name, which is Craig, whatever. Fuzzard and Felice together on the same time. Me and Felice have done things a few times. We used to do a lot more, but
you were supposed to text me. Didn't I send you my footage?
I know.
I thought you wanted to do something on your platform. I'm open to, if you want to this weekend. I'm not going anywhere for Labor Day.
I work all weekend, but next week, yeah, I'll get in touch with you.
Yeah, let me know. Or Monday, like if you're, is Monday's a 3-day weekend, right?
Yeah, it's a weekend.
Yeah,
like
I'll be around.
Wednesday, I'm off.
Okay, yeah, just text me and I'll let you know.
All right, sounds good. But yeah, do your thing.
Bye, Fuzzy.
Bye.
This is what I just want to really get into this, because there's only one logical logical number one, and then mathematical is the most important, right? I'm not an insecure white man terrified because I have a small d of losing my pews that make me feel like I can protect myself. That's not what's going on with me. And I also am pretty well educated and well read, so I can do statistical analysis and identify actual problems, not like what my insecurity is that I have to project onto other people publicly. So the overwhelming consensus in public health research is that the primary driver of the country's mass pewing rate is access to firearms, particularly high-power weapons, like particularly the semi-automatic weapons. We all know what we're talking about. I just don't want my live ban. That's the goal. While mental health is a factor in individual cases, it is a poor predictor at the population level. And that's what I'm saying. If you don't understand math, I took statistics and I passed it with a B, but I will say this. Statistics is a hard thing to understand. Like, I made it through calculus A, B in college or in high school, never got to calculus B, C. I had to cheat on the last, like, math is hard, and I took a lot of advanced math classes, so I understand statistics, hard to understand. So, is a poor predictor at the population level, and the evidence leaking SSRIs, that's my favorite, because that's what's going around, is it's the SSRIs, which is selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors to mass shootings, is not supported by data, period. There is no statistical correlation. Oh, you know what else, Toodle? There's no statistical correlation to immigration and crime, but you talk to idiot white males and they'll swear there is.
It's absolutely true.
Yeah, like there's no statistical correlation between SSRIs and mass pupewings. Period.
I think what they want to do with that is they want to just classify anybody who's got a mental issue where they have to take an SSRI or going to be classified as the unmentionables, so they can put us on the list.
That's all of us. Who does not have a mental health problem? And I'm saying undiagnosed as well, which in my opinion are the most dangerous ones. Like, just because you're like, I don't need therapy, I'm an idiot who can barely read, that doesn't mean you don't have a mental health problem. Like, you have an undiagnosed mental health problem.
No doubt. I mean, I have ADD meds, so
I mean, don't get me started on neurodivergence. So my point is that, and that's why on Wednesday, before I presented actual math to explain why MAGA men have no idea what they're speaking about, I said, hey, I can't take SSRIs. You know why? Because it gave me, unaliving ideation, if you can, what I'm talking about, right? Like, and that's written on the label. It can happen, right? It can also make you feel like you want to be violent. All of this stuff is written on the label. I can't take it. I was like, I don't want to be here. Like, I probably should. I can't take any sort of like antipsychotics, SSR, antidepressants, any of those. I can't take them because it's not good for whatever's going on with this body chemistry. Not great, right? Like, but it has nothing to do, right, whether I'm on them, not on them, of my propensity to be a mass pupewer. The only thing we can correlate, and this is not feelings, it's actual facts, mathematical correlation, is access to pupews. That's it. Because we have prevalence of mental health issues in countries all over the world, of larger size, of smaller size, of similar size, right? But mainly, just to be clear, it doesn't matter the population of countries because it has to do with rate, right? It's per capita, it's rate per 100,000. So mental health issues exist everywhere. SSRIs in the first world are prescribed everywhere. But for some reason, none of these issues exist in other countries.
You do have access to X, so that may go against you.
Yeah, true. That's true. It's slowly killing me. X.com is what we're talking about. I was like, not what it could be. We're not not the MDMA.
Sorry, I should. I
was like, not ecstasy.
Unalive name.
X.com, the place. Yeah, that can hurt anyone's mental health. I was like,
let's just call it Twitter, because that's what it is.
Which, by the way, I do want to say, I think I can just say letters of the alphabet on TikTok. I believe it's today, which is a day later in Australia. MDMA in controlled doses has just been approved for PTSD treatment in Australia. So which I've always talked about. I've been diagnosed with actual post-traumatic stress disorder and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So I've always been very interested in different substances and the FDA, the testing that's going on to see how they can help people with issues like mine. And in Australia, that has now, yes, MAGA man. Exactly. Apparently, that has just one of my very intelligent friends, Landon, who has MS. Which I think he said before, so I think that's fine. He was texting me this morning. He's like, it just got approved, like, as treatment for PTSD in Australia. And I was like, see, we're coming a long way. But those are in very small, controlled, pure doses under the care of a doctor. I just want to be clear, not at a rave where Billy the weirdo offers you. So
weren't they doing also, like, recently, like, small groups of studies with that, with VA vets that were suffering PTSD, but they were using, I think, psilocybin.
Oh yeah, in the United States and all over South America. Like when I went to South America, that was part of the reason why, was just to look into the different trials that were being done around ayahuasca. The main active ingredient in ayahuasca, if you don't know, is DMT. There's just other things in ayahuasca that prolong the DMT and how it disseminates through the body. So that's part of the reason I went to South America. One of the places you can look in, and Central America, and went all over there, was to look in. I'm always interested, like microdosing of shrooms and things. Psilocybin, it's now legal in Oregon, Washington, not Colorado yet, but there are all sorts of great uses for these things.
These ancient medicines have been medicines forever, and we're just coming back to them.
Exactly.
The pharmaceutical industry. My mother is a sufferer of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and her neurologist recommended that she goes to a acupuncturist now, and it's been doing wonders for her. And so even mainstream academia in medicine we're looking back at these things that have always worked for thousands of years.
I don't always tell stories about my childhood and why I'm so effed up, but when I talk about how Division I athletics traumatizes so many kids, and that's why I hate Jim Jordan, and I always say, watch Surviving Ohio State. If you haven't seen it, it's on HBO Max. This is a man who covered up for horrific SA and abuse that was going on of 19, 20, 21-year-old kids who were Division I athletes, athletic wrestlers. And I always talk about that. Well, it's not that I don't know. I need to see double-blind studies of acupuncture. But the reason my paranoia about acupuncture was when I was in college and I had bulging disc in my lower back, and then our team doctor was like, oh, I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you acupuncture. And I had to get naked. And then, this is true story. I shouldn't be saying this stuff. It's all true though. I can't be sued. It all happened. And then I went home because I lived with another volleyball player and 2 football players. And I was like, I shouldn't say, I almost said his name. I was like, Dr. So-and-so, when you guys were telling me, because one of our roommates was an offensive lineman who spent 10 years in the NFL following this. So he was very good. And, when you're an offensive lineman, that's what, it's like you're getting in car accidents constantly. So he was seeing a chiropractor and getting acupuncture. I'm like, for his lower back. And I'm like, you didn't tell me he made you get naked. And he's like, I didn't have to. What are you talking about? And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, no, I didn't. That didn't happen to me. And I was like, great, thanks. If you can afford which no one can afford for their children to go to university, but everyone thinks Division I athletics is the most amazing thing. It's not. If you have money, save your kids from Division I. And you think that's a crazy story? That's the most mild one I have about what happened to me in Division I athletics. It is a tightrope walk of creepy predators who are trying to
You shared
do
a
weird
couple
things.
over the months and years, and it happens. Oof.
Yeah, don't let your kids play sports if you have money, truly. And also for their physical health, I have so many health problems, and they don't tell you oh, by the way, every morning you wake up after 30, you're going to feel like S. People, I mean, that was just, I had been groomed so much earlier as a child to just be okay with so many things that that's why now I get so loud and annoying about things. But yeah, if you want to know how I ended up like this, there's many very specific reasons why. Oh yeah, which this is totally unrelated, but has to do with my mother being a malignant narcissist. This morning, I always, when I'm running 10 miles a day, I listen to audio articles that are on Apple News. And listen to this very disturbing article. Hold on, I texted it to someone this morning when I saw that it had come out officially. Let me just make sure I read the name of the article correctly. It is the original article in case anyone wants to read it. The original article that I heard on Apple News was a New York Magazine article called, well, I feel like I'm going to ruin the surprise. I'm not going to say it. It's a New York Magazine article. You can try to look up after, but I don't want to ruin the documentary for you. This morning on Netflix, a documentary came out, which no one named this person as a narcissist, but as someone who was raised by one. It's called like Unknown High School Catfish. I'd suggest everyone go look that up and then look for the New York Magazine article after it and then think, why is Felice so messed up? Maybe it's because her mom is just like this mom.
Check that out.
I almost did. No, yeah. Let me just look up the name of the actual Netflix documentary, because if I tell you the name of the article that came out years before, it will ruin everything for you guys.
I'm seeing it as Unknown Number.
It's called Unknown Number. The High School Catfish. It just came out this morning, and I was like, I listened to a 2-hour article being read while I was running about this. Every Unknown Number, The High School Catfish, 10 of 10 recommend. It's scary. We have a bunch of it. I know. Don't watch it now, Heather. Don't watch it later. Anyways, wait, hold on.
Speaking of watching now, I'm going to drop out, and I'm going to sit back and watch
You're
the receipts.
the best, Toodle.
Get
Love
delivered.
you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Yeah.
I don't, wait, sorry. I can drop you. It's so hard. Okay, there. Sorry. TikTok Studio is so different. So let me just stay on the subject. Heather, thank you for the $5.55 on Venmo. You're right. You're a very hot woman. The rare occasion I go live, weak men insult my looks. I also know I'm a very hot woman. It's so true. Like, just every time, and I can say this because I could be live for 2 weeks showing you terrible, threatening messages, but like outside of that, like the ones I could take to the police, the majority are just, you're ugly, you're fat, you look like a man, like you're gross. And it's like, if you've ever taken psychology classes in college, these are insecure people, like projecting their own fears and insecurities onto you. It's like, am I? Is that... Because it's super weird that every single MAGA man who's ever met me in person tries to date me. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I'm so ugly until people meet me, and then they're like, holy shit, she's hot, right? Or if after they meet me in person, they hate me, it's like, which there's a whole other group of those. And it's like, why would that be? Oh, deep-seated insecurity. Yeah, I'd hate me too if I looked like you. Truly. I would too. I'm 5'9" and 3/4 barefoot. So when I have shoes on, I'm over 5'10". And let's just be honest, what is the average height of a man in America? Let's ask the internet. Which, by the way, is disproportionately. We have the country where the average height is the highest. Not interested. That was weird. Is the Netherlands. Just to be clear, and if you're looking for a tall, hot man, go to the Netherlands. But yeah, the average height of an adult man in the United States is 5'9", which is. I just want you guys to know how extremely that is tall compared to the rest of the world. Actually, men in the United States on average are much taller than the rest of the world. But like, when women who are 5'9" and 3/4, and by the way, on my, like, when I was looking to get a Division I scholarship and I was playing club volleyball, like I was the shortest person on my team. I was I think second, third shortest on my college team. Other than like the libero, who's like 5 feet, like I was the shortest. Like playing Division I volleyball, I'm a tiny person. I just happen to have a very large vertical and very long arms and be unbelievably coordinated. But the average height of a man in America is 5'9". So if you're ever wondering why they're unbelievably insecure about women who are smart, it's because they're not, and they have no idea what they're talking about. Why they're insecure about women whose voices sound like theirs, I don't know. This is my personal opinion, though, and I don't really know, but I'm just going to say, I think it's because the most beautiful women, in my opinion, are like black femmes. And if you're unclear about what I'm saying when I say femmes, those are, these are, in black culture, as far as they call femmes, these are trans women, right? And I think it's because trans women are more beautiful than assigned females at birth. They look better than me. They do their makeup better than me. They walk better than me. They talk better than me. They are unbelievably beautiful. And so I think they just are the idea, right, that they could be attracted to something that, I guess, in culture, in the stack rank of the patriarchy, would make them gay, which it's not, right? That's the very confusing thing. It's gender identity is so different than sexual orientation. It terrifies them. But I look nothing like a trans woman. And I'm saying that trans women are beat to the gods. They're beautiful. They know how to do their makeup. They know how to talk. They know how to walk. They look like supermodels. I look like a weirdo who's confused all the time. So I think that's what men are afraid of. They're afraid because they're seeing these depictions of trans women that are unbelievably beautiful and undeniably gorgeous, and it's so they don't know what to think. There's nothing to think. You're attracted to a woman as you should, as we all are, as I am, right? The other thing I get in my hate mail is you're pansexual, you're a trans man, or I don't even know, they don't know what words mean, pansexual has to do with sexual orientation. There's difference between how you identify as a human, what your gender is, and who you would be open to having sex with, who you're attracted to. Pansexual just means I'm attracted to a wide variety of people based on who it's a spectrum. And sapiosexual is an umbrella within that. Just, I like people's brains. This is just another indictment on insecure white males. But that's what they're always thinking about, is what kind of genitals do people have? The last thing I'm ever thinking when I meet someone is what size is their D or what's going on below their pants. I'm just who's this person? Are they smart? What do they know? Maybe they can teach me something. Maybe I can learn something from them. And that's what makes me attracted to people, is who someone is, their lived experience, what they've learned, and how I can benefit from that. So I just want to say, I know some people in the comments have been, I'm 5'9", and men say, yeah, believe me, I know. And just to say, short women are always I wish I was tall. No, you don't. Trust me. You do not want to challenge men's manhood on a daily basis. Believe me. It is a direct threat to their emotional security. That's how they feel about it. It is terrifying. And I want to say this, not everyone, just to be clear, not everyone. I dated several men. Oh my God, where did the puzzle pieces are back? This has never happened to me in 6 weeks, and I got a puzzle piece. Yeah, well, you can. Queen Brie, I'm short and I like to be taller. Yeah, that's what 4-inch platform heels are. Do you know how many shoes I have a wish list in my heart of platform shoes I'd wear if shorter. So I'll send those to you. You can live the dream. Wear the 5-inch heels. Oh my God, I would love to. And by the way, can I just say to all the tall girls who are listening, You know what the greatest thing is about like mainstreaming like gender fluidity? Tell me 20 years ago if you are 5'10" and could get a shoe your size, like a hot stiletto. And now online you can get those same shoes in sizes that fit our. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the most amazing thing about gender fluidity is how much better my shoe game is now. Which, like, I have a size 10 in women's shoe, which is like 8.5 in men, and that was hard. But also, I'm just pointing this out because it's something I've been talking to my smother, my mom, that's what I call her, my smother about. Is like, as you get older, does it seem like your feet are getting bigger? Is it because we're like, just gravity is pushing down on our feet and they're like getting wider? Like, I do feel like it's hard. Yeah. Like, I feel like I know my foot is size 10, but now I'm like, if I'm going to wear like a heel at this angle, I'm going to need a size bigger. Yeah, I think it's doing it to everyone. My dad is the same because I always buy. I take care of my dad like he's my child, and I'm like, your feet are getting bigger. But I do like that's the best thing about gender fluidity is if a tall girl's shoe game is 10 of 10 improving. But not to give. I just want to say this with women. Like, I've dated a lot of professional athletes. One, like, the love of my life was someone I dated for like 10 years. He was a professional baseball player. And, like, the right man loves a tall woman, right? Like, so if they're out there, like, insecure men that you make feel, you know, that feel weird about you. I've also dated men who were 1 to 2 inches, I'm trying to think, actually 2.5 inches shorter than me, who were like, put heels on, you're hot as shit. Like, the light of my life is to stand next to a hot, tall woman, you know? Like, if you are not an insecure Hispanic man, just say, like, I have hundreds of, I think I was talking about, like, if you look at my first, second, and third cousins in Arizona that are Hispanic, it's terrifying. There's hundreds. And, like, they're just like, I love tall women, you know? So they're out there. You don't, but for some reason, no offense, MAGA men, it seems like you guys are deeply, deeply insecure and you're looking for someone who you can dominate. That's this, like, weird ideal of never challenges you and the fact you have no idea what you're talking about, you know, is a trad wife type, is tiny so you could feel like a man. And the other, oh my God, I didn't record it and I should have. It was a very long podcast. But I saw this podcast where a doctor was explaining to a man, because the man was saying, I'm not joking you, it's my wife's V. You know, they were talking about why he couldn't get pleasure from sex. And he was claiming that, I'm just going to say an analogy because there's a lot of words I don't even know if I could say, but he's like, it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. And the doctor was just like, yeah, that's math. That's like scientifically not real. You're describing something that's not happening, you know? And she described like the, you know, vaginal cavity, how it's muscle, it's a bunch of muscles and how that's not what's happening there. So if something's happening with you, to look into it, but it has nothing to do with women. Same with the, what is it called, the husband stitch, or the, you know, where, or the mother-in-law stitch, where they stitch the entry to the V closed like one more stitch after birth. That does nothing. Like, the rest, that's nothing. That's just going to cause women excruciating pain so they never want to touch you again. Past that is a tunnel of muscles. Right? Like, like, that's what you don't understand. There's no such thing as she's loose. That's an insecurity of men, you know? Like, sorry. I wish Dr. Danny was here. She would explain this all with literal, like, models, but I just got blocked out of a Christian live. It happens. Trust me. After what you see I have to present today, it will probably happen here. But, sorry. I got off onto a long tangent of why men, or, you know, some man was insecure and trying to attack my looks. And I just went off on a tangent of why I don't think that's anything any of us need to worry about. Like, never feel bad, ladies. No matter, I get it. I spent my whole life thinking, oh, I'm too tall. Like, some things, I'm 5'9¾". Like, my teammates were like 6'4", and they're all married to hot professional athlete husbands. Like, don't worry about it. Like, men who are secure in who they are do not degrade women for having long legs. Like, you know what, like, ever. Like, they're just like, hey, I'll climb her like a tree, you know. Like, my Hispanic cousins are like, used to be like, please take me to your volleyball games. Like, I don't care that I'm 5'4". Like, I'll figure it out. Like, that's the truth. Like, you know, the right answer is women are beautiful in all forms. And if you are so lucky to touch one at any point, I love how we're all putting our heights. I'm 5'9¾ barefoot, but I think with any shoes, it makes me like 5'10", you know what I mean? But I say that because that was the bane of my existence. I wanted to be 5'11" so bad in Division I volleyball. Just drove me insane. So I know exactly how tall I am and when my growth plates closed, because wait, hold on. Julie, thank you for the $10 on Cash App. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much. You guys don't understand. Everything I do on the people's receipts, which I'm going to get into after this, I promise. We got a little diverted by some guy coming up here and making up lies based on his feelings, and then someone attacking my looks in the comments. But we're going to get back on track because I have a lot of interesting stuff to show. Ashley, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. From a fellow effed up and fabulous child of narcissists, I get you. Thank you, Smashly. I need to send you my phone number. We need to start a support group of children of narcissists, so we could just all, I actually think like we could identify like behavior, like track Trump's behavior better, because like that's all I do is just I watch Trump operate and I'm like, mommy? Is that you? Mommy, do you love me? It's like, Don Jr., the answer is no. He's never going to love you. That's the answer. It doesn't matter how many lies you tell for him. He's never going to love you. But he could my mother, like, I think I shouldn't say things like this, and I don't want to give anyone whose parent is actually. And there's a difference between narcissistic personality traits and narcissistic personality disorder. That's a very small percentage of the population. But they can't change. They can never grow effective empathy, but they can modify their behavior, right? And the most tragic part you have to realize is you don't exist to them. That's the heartbreaking thing that will kill you. Is if you are a child of a narcissist and you're a little bit confused about what you've been observing while watching them your entire life, you don't exist. That's the truth. If you are the golden child, or you're an extension of them. And I'm not saying, even if you're the scapegoat child, you are too, right? Things are fluid with narcissists. You're not always in one role. It can change. When I almost died and was no longer as valuable to my mother, when I wasn't dating famous athletes and she couldn't pretend to be me, then, that role switched. I was like, ew, what's wrong with her? I'm like, me, the person you've been pretending to be for your whole life, you're asking, what's wrong? Yeah, but like, we are extensions of them, or at best pawns. They are moving around, right, for attention. You never exist. But I think that I always say, and people are always like, why are you close to your parents after what they've done? Because they're my primary attachments, right? Like, and my mother was so disturbed that I've never attached to another human being in my life. So this is all I've got. And it's like, I think there's a lot, right? Like, in current medicine, they'll tell you, your parent is a malignant narcissist, you got to get away from them right now. They're They are. They're sucking the life out of you. But once you can recognize what they're doing and how they're doing it and why they're doing it, it's the most pathetic thing ever, right? Like, I was talking, not to say it doesn't affect me, because it takes me back to when I was a helpless child and I didn't know why. I didn't understand. And I was like being terrorized. But now that I know and I can see it all, I'm like, that's super. You're a helpless, sad, lost, insecure infant that has no idea how to function in life, And I'm like, I'll take care of you, weird little angry infant. Bless your heart. I'm not an only child. I'm an angry middle child. I'm not an only child. My sister was the scapegoat pretty much growing up, and my little brother is like, the corporate, the only boy. So if you're in a Hispanic family, the only boys, it's something different. But yeah, like, I'm just saying, like, once you understand the pathology and you understand who they were, because this is why I say, the scary part is Donald Trump is not going to stop until we stop him. And that's scary. We have to stop him. We do. Someone is going to have to physically stop him. He will never stop until that happens. Like, we have to make him stop this. But on the other side of that, narcissists, and a lot of people in America have narcissistic traits. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people with narcissistic personality disorder, which I think is estimated to be like 2 to 3% of the population. But if you talk to psychiatrists who, kind of coin those terms, it's probably much higher in America. I think it's like 6 to 10%, because it's multiplying. It's like rabbits having children. And if your parent is one of those, they're an infant. That's the truth. If your parent has narcissistic personality disorder, they are an infant. They are an infant who is being abused, right? I used to be a teacher, and we take a lot of early childhood development classes. Who these people are, who Donald Trump was, and no one wants to hear this, but I think the perspective of children who were raised by these people is different than like the people who were like, I dated a monster who tried to kill me, right? Like, we attach to these people and watch them, and I'm not saying they didn't abuse us, but we have a different perspective because we loved them, right? Versus like, ew, this weirdo came into my life and tried to ruin it. It's two different things. And we observed them for years. It's like a case study of, I watched this happen for years. And who we all are is decided when we're very young. 1 to 4 years old, it's over. Whoever you are, if you're a monster, that's it. Surprise. It's already been decided. And narcissistic personality disorder is a defense. It is saying, I'm in such a high stress, scary situation. My primary attachment, which is mom, is not meeting my needs. And I'm not blaming mothers, because that can be for a lot of reasons. That can be because dad is an unbelievable abuser and mom can't meet needs because she's being harassed and harangued by some psycho, but it's saying like the most important time of my life, my primary attachment, the bonding of an infant to their primary attachment was interrupted. That is what creates narcissistic personality disorder. It's decided that young, and it is a defense. It's saying, this is never happening to me again. At that young age, for the rest of my life, I'm developing a very disturbing, scary skill set that what's happening to me at this young age is not, this is my defense. And if it's malignant narcissism is different than just narcissistic personality disorder. Narcissistic personality disorder, that defense is, I'm God, I'm perfect, and I have all these people around me doing horrible things to me and saying I'm not perfect and saying I'm garbage and saying, but I've decided now for sure. Like, I've changed my neural pathways. I'm perfect now, and nobody is ever going to make me feel like I felt before. That's narcissistic personality disorder. It is a defense against the interruption of the primary attachment at that young of an age. That's how young. And if you know who Trump's dad was, he's a monster. That guy was a monster. But Trump became something different, right? Which is malignant narcissism. It's the dark triad. It is that defense of, I'm perfect and you're never gonna shit on me again. I'm God. God does no wrong. God's perfect. No, everybody wants to have sex with God. It's so strange. All these women, like 29 women, are saying, I essayed them. God's perfect. Why would a woman not want to be touched by God? I promise you that is how he believes in his mind. But in addition to that defense, he was in such an adverse environment that he had to develop two more, like that Machiavellian sadism, like the means to the end is the most important thing, right? And psychopathy, which is, there's narcissism, and the psychopathy later on top of that is terrorizing. These are master manipulators, right? And if you're just a psychopath, it's hard to understand all these things, right? They're under the umbrella of cluster B and the DSM. But if you're just a psychopath, you're a manipulator. You know the difference between right and wrong. You know what you're doing, right? Like, this is a game you're playing. You get off on it, right? And when it's coupled with Machiavellian sadism, that's when you get these like sexual sadism, like people that do horrible things. And when you have that dark triad, that's Trump. That was who else? When was this? I mean, the term malignant narcissism wasn't coined until one of my favorite people I had the pleasure of meeting in person, Kernberg, one of the most famous psychiatrists. But all of these traits were first described, and this identity and theory was built off of the Nuremberg trials, off of the schmazzies that were being tried, that they brought in psychologists to say, what's going on with these people? And that's what it is. So I just want people to understand. Oh, I know. Oh my God. Karen, I just want to give someone an example. Karen said, I was lucky, had the best mom ever, best friend. I almost want to cry. Like, I promise myself every day before every live stream I won't cry, and I like ruin that every time. And you know why? People are always like, why are you obsessed with reality TV? It's not because I think reality TV is necessarily super real or anything. It's because I'm obsessed with human behavior. Like, and I know, when I was a little kid, I did not understand what people like Karen were saying. Like, when my friends would be like, my mom loves me, she's amazing. I was like, that's what I thought too. You're in danger. Like, I would literally try to warn my friends and be like, I thought that too. Like, you need to be careful. And they'd be like, no, like, I don't need to be careful. Like, my mom loves me. And I'm like, you have no idea who she is. Like, that's how I would speak. And then like my friends, when we got older, would be like, I'm going to get married. And I'd be like, don't get married. Like, you have no idea. Like, my parents' masks are off. You don't want this for yourself. Like, my parents are still married. They've been married like 40 years. Now you see why I'm single and why I don't trust anyone. And I'd be like, you guys have no idea. There's no such thing as love. And now, thank God, when I started live streaming, I had 6 years of therapy under my belt. And I was like, okay, nothing I thought when I was a kid is real. And a big part, I'm not saying therapy saved me. By the way, therapy is not some person you're going to meet that's going to explain the world to you and say, they're not some smart person that's going to save you. Every therapist I met, I was smarter than. They're just going to like hold up a mirror and let you see who you are. Those are the good ones, right? Like, that's what they're trying to show you is, hey, like, let's talk. I don't want to tell you, I want you to discover how you became like you are, right? And there is hope for everyone. And as long as insecure white males continue to say things like, therapy is horrible, therapy is awful, like, then it's stupid. Yeah, therapy, Katie, or no, therapy could bore me too. But it's not about the person. They're not the savior. Talk therapy, really good therapy, is just about you thinking about how things came to be, you know, discovering things about yourself, in my opinion, because I can't stand when people are like, let me tell you what's going on. I'm like, I have to go. Like, you very clearly have no idea what's going on. And they're so, oh, I know. And I will say this, definitely ask your therapist about their beliefs, right? Who said that? Smashley said, my therapist is a brilliant Haitian woman who is also a professor. See, that's what I'm saying. You need to know what they know and what they think and believe, because that will be all the difference. If you're like, when I was a kid and I was on the edge of, I was going through, you have no idea. Essay, like, inside the family, all sorts of things. I was being gaslit, and people like, bury it deep down inside. It never happened. And they took me to a church counselor who was like, yes, we prayed for 15 seconds and now none of it happened, and you need to go ahead and bury it deep down. I'm like, it happened on this church campus. Like, I'm telling you, one of these child pastors like took me in a bathroom, and when I came out, I had no underwear on. Like, I was like and they're like, it's okay, little girl. I was like 4 years old, and they're like, it never happened. Like, you don't want religion brought into therapy, because you're just going to be gaslit 100% of the time. Okay, we got to move on from this, because sometime I'll tell you guys my whole life story. I'm considering, Gumps, it was you, right? Gumps, you're here. It was you that got me that bed desk, right? The thing that goes over my bed that's a desk. I assume it's you, because you got me the desk I'm sitting at right now. I always assumed it. Was it you that bought that? You bought that. I assumed. The thing that goes over my desk. I might start doing lives from my bed. Maybe I'll just talk about this type of stuff, and we can have like... Yeah, well, you've sent so many things. It's hard to remember which the desk I'm at right now. So it's so hard to remember when you're literally. Oh, and by the way, thank you, Ron, for this Gemini necklace. I have an Amazon wish list. Like, I've said this before. I hate appearing weak, but like everything. This is my job. Like, just before this live, I do 5 hours of research. It's a lot. And everything I live off of comes from you all. And most of it, I just reinvest back into the business or it goes towards therapy, and other, obviously other things. But my Amazon wish list is amazing. Gumps is such an amazing woman. I thought it's a funny story. I used to get all these gifts from like a man's name, and I used to have this joke like, there's some weirdo like sending me gifts, and she's like, no, I'm just sending them from my partner's account. And I was like, okay. I was like, because my instincts are don't accept anything. Like, well, that volume of things, I'm like, oh my God, I might owe like a man something and I don't know who they are. Just, it's me. You have been so amazing. Like, because I can't, I live with my dad. I don't have a car. I just want to be clear and I'm going to actually show you something right after this. I'm going to get off of our argument and what the things we were talking about before. But I just want everyone to know, when I see people lying, which... Trust me, I'm going to follow this up with a video. I'm going somewhere with this. There's a large argument going on right now on X that like creators are grifters on the left, that they're being paid $8,000 a month by, I think it's called Chorus, which is run by Brian. Wait, what's his last name? Not Brian. It's Brian Tyler. Brian Tyler. What is that lawyer's name that we all know? Like, what's his last name? I feel like I'm about to say the wrong name. Brian Tyler Cohen. Thank you. I don't know why I kept wanting to say Green, right? And there's this like, oh, I know. Taylor, I don't know what to think of this woman. I want to say this. When she worked for the Washington Post previously, she's printed so many articles that have gone out. I don't know. I don't want to say attack the right, because I don't even know if she was attacking. I just want to say this. As a former researcher, I think she says and does a lot of things that are emotionally charged and not fact-based. And if you're confused who I'm talking about Taylor Lorenz. She used to be a writer for the Washington Post that like MAGA hated. But I have noticed, even back when MAGA hated her, and you would think that would make me hate her, but I've always noticed, like, I don't know what to make of her. She's very emotionally charged, and she says things that I don't think are factually true. I've thought this for about 5 years, right? Like, truly. Even when she was going after MAGA, I'm like, the general idea is true, but you are saying things like, let me explain what I'm saying. I'm not talking about in her actual published writing, because when you write for something like Wired or like the Washington Post, you have editors. Like, you're not, and licensed fact checkers, part of the National Fact Checker Association. You could write whatever you want, but it's not going to print unless it's true, right? But then when she would get these like they would turn things she had written into like documentaries on TV or appearances in the media, and I would see her speak, I would be like, what in the is that's what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would just be like, I don't know if anything, like, she would say things that were very concerning to me. So let me just show you, which, hey, here's something the right and the left can agree on, is that I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know enough about her to say why, but I would say the easiest thing I could say is clicks, right? Clicks, like media engagement, creating problems that are very clearly untrue. But again, I don't know why. I don't know why anyone would be doing this. Hold on, I've got to find it, because I was not planning to play this, but now we're on the line of logic. So why not? It's a good one. Where are you? Hold on, I'm just going to email the clip to myself, because sometimes I got too much crap saved up. Where is it? I know it's right here. It drives me nuts when I can't find clips, but I also have the link, so I'll just play it live. I have this theory, though, when I don't record things and play it, that it hurts my live. Hold on. Can we all keep tapping the screen? I know I need to update and keep gifting. This is my Cash App and Venmo. If you would like to support what I do, I would highly appreciate it. This is Friday, right? Yep. Okay. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I just had to look up. There it is. Oh my God. Here, I'm just going to look it up online. I don't have time for this. I know I recorded that somewhere, though. But this ended up involving, I love Brian Baez and the reporting he's done, which I will say, I have nothing to do with Brian Tyler Cohen's chorus, whatever, weird chorus or whatever it is. But I mean, like this, like, well, I can't even remember the name of it, which is sad. But it's like a creator core for Black and brown people, where we get like cool training from like other, like Simone, who works for MSNBC, and other black and brown people like who help us and give us advice. So that's why I always said, like, I love this guy. Like, I didn't know who he was until I sat in these Zoom meetings with Mr. Jones was in there too at first. Just saying. But like Jolly was in it was like brilliant black and brown creators, and we used to talk about like how, different things, and during the 2024 election they would like provide us with information and things. Oh wait, Andy reposted another thing about it. Okay, hold on, I'm on his actual page, so hopefully I can find it now. Was it deleted in some weird way? Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm like, that's so, for a second I thought he deleted it, and I was like, that is strange. Okay, hold on. Okay, so again, this is about like this huge thing that's going on X right now about, it's something being run, I think it's called Chorus, but there might be, is it We Are Chorus? I don't know, but Chorus, and it's something that Brian Tyler Cohen created, which is much needed. And I just want to be clear, the irony of this, let's say that Brian Tyler Cohen somehow got access to billions of dollars and was giving every leftist creator you knew $8,000 a month. Well, of larger size. I'm not talking about me, but you know what I'm saying? That they were being paid to make content. That would pale in comparison to what I can prove about MAGA creators. Truly, I'm only saying that, and I don't talk about this because I don't believe that anyone, and I mean on the right as well, creators, people who make content and this is their full-time job, should be shamed in capitalism for making a living. Like, it's not wrong for making a living. But I do want to say, when I've never accepted money from any political organization or anyone at all. And I did feel a little uncomfortable, like when I was working for the 2024 campaign or helping like in Arizona, it did occur to me several times that like this is a giant machine, and I might not always agree with everything this machine is pushing, and I would never want to take money because like I wouldn't want to be in trouble for not, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't think I personally can take money for any of this, but I also personally am living in poverty. So what is the trade? I would never fault anyone, including MAGA creators who are like, hey, I'm just trying to pay my bills and I'm paying them, and I agree with this anyways. But yeah, like I'll say more after you watch this because I think this will illuminate. But again, there is a Wired.com article that came out, which I think he's going to cite, but you're going to need, I think you have to get through a paywall to see it. So if you don't subscribe to Wired, which when I was in the tech industry, yeah, now, no.
There's a lot of misinformation going on right now because there's an article published in Wired that says a dark money group.
That's it. If you want to screenshot it, a dark money group is secretly funding high-profile Democratic influencers. If you want to go find the article, that is it. And it's written by Taylor Lorenz, who I'm losing respect for because I just think there's so many problems with at this point. I've never said anything like this out loud, but actually, I just want to say I have less problems with the print, what goes to print, because she has editors saving her from herself, and I have more problems with what I've seen her say when she is on shows that that's what I have a problem with. I have a problem with what comes out of her mouth, not writing that went through 5 editors.
is secretly funding high-profile Democratic influencers. That an initiative aimed at boosting Democrats online offers influencers up to $8,000 a month to push the party line. All they have to do is keep it secret and agree to restrictions on their content. Let me just clear this motherfucker up right the fuck now. Fuck the camera, I'm talking to you real. Nobody, and I mean nobody, tells me what the fuck I can and cannot say. I say what the fuck I want to say, when I want to say it, how I want to say it, and not a motherfuck body got something to say about it. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to spare you the details of the article.
Can I say, I don't obviously play all of Brian Baez's articles, which is that all of his posts. That is 100% true. I could show you post after post of his that not only makes me uncomfortable, but I know is 100% antithetical to the Democratic Party. I will stand on 10 toes down on what that man said. He does not give a fuck. No, I would sit with him while CNN anchors were trying to educate us, and he's like loudly talking, making jokes. Like 100%. Nobody controls what he says. I totally agree.
The article is long and boring as fuck, and it's also behind a paywall. Somebody sent me the actual article on a PDF file because who the fuck is paying for Wired? Nevertheless, she's talking about an organization called Chorus, which, by the way, who the fuck is that handsome man on the motherfucking website? Here's your first clue as to how this article is bullshit from jump, because she's framing it as she's outing this secret group of people. This website and Chorus as an organization has been public the entire time. They literally say their purpose right here. Chorus is recruiting, training, and supporting independent
I think when a year ago now is pretty much when Jay and I stopped working. I'm pretty sure Jay and I talked about this group. It has always been public. It has never been secret. This is factually true. I just want to be, and that's what's scary about Taylor Lorenz is for, clicks or views or something, she's like, oh, I have I'll tell you about a secret dark money group no one knows about. And, I've talked about several of them and no one knows about them. I'm pretty sure they've ran ads to get creators to apply. This is the opposite of a secret.
Online voices and building the next era for online news and conversation. Not only that, but there's literally a huge button on the website that says join Chorus, where in order for you to join the Chorus creator community, there's an entire application process for you to even join, and they also tell you the benefits of joining Chorus. They say Chorus Incubator Program is a vibrant pro-democracy learning community for content creators. Participants receive a monthly stipend calibrated to the level of involvement you can commit to the learning sessions. Literally, that's when everything falls apart and you start understanding that Taylor really didn't out anything. She saw public information and wrote an article about it in a negative way so that you could believe it. Then she tried to backtrack and be more specific. She said, point to me one video where any of these content creators reveal that they were receiving funding from the 1630 Fund, a dark money group, prior to our article. But then you find out that Taylor Lorenz is a reporter in her own residence cohort program, seen right here, where she is receiving a monthly stipend of $8,000 plus a $2,000 traveling bonus totaling $50,000 over 6 months from July to December. And the owner of the Omidyar network, which she's a part of, Pierre Omidyar, gave $45 million to the 1630 Fund. Same organization that she's saying is funding Chorus, that's a dark money group. The other thing is she wrote this article knowing that it would create a negative perception for Democratic influencers because now it just comes off as they're only saying this shit because they're paid. She literally named a girl in her article as being part of Chorus, but that girl makes content attacking Democrats all the time and criticizing them for their response in Gaza. I mean, literally, everybody's welcome. But it really sounds like his bitch is mad they didn't get accepted into the motherfucking cohort. Bitch.
We're about to put a meme coin out. And
Sorry, that's my awesome. I just love, he's so funny. Okay. Yeah, so I just want to read something. I looked up 1630 Fund is a hub of undisclosed political spending. I just want to say this because, and I want to think about how to say this with not angering other people on the other leftists on this app. Listen, okay. I always talk about follow the money. And when I first became, I say this every single day. The only answer to any problem is get money out of politics. That's the answer. As long as PACs are funding politics, we have a very big problem. And I mean, that is a very large umbrella statement to make. And I could give you 800 statements underneath it of why it concerns me. But let me just, okay, you remember how, like, the whole, what was that thing? F America tour? Right? With whatever that woman's name is who runs National Ground Game. And people started looking into the finances. Okay. And as somebody who spends a lot of time following money and of PACs, if I'm not saying that shit's not concerning, I wish I was. I just want to say this: if you think you deserve to pay yourself, however, hundreds of thousands, whatever you think you deserve to pay yourself, then just defend it. And if you're a woman who's saying, I'm fucking brilliant and I deserve this money, then say that. Own it. Sure, I agree. Because here's what I'm saying. If you look into any PAC's finances on the left, it's going to look like, what the fuck am I donating to? I promise you, you're going to be like, what? But I dare you to go look at PACs on the right. And it's going to be so disturbing that you will just be like, I've lost my faith in American politics. So, like that, and none of it is necessarily correct, but I see PACs in a lot of ways as this like fundraising thing and then what's actually, and there are a bunch of people inside them who set up, let's say, consultancy businesses and then pay themselves out huge amounts of money. Like, if you believe that you are going to donate to a PAC and that's going to essentially directly help a person or a cause, I would say figure out another way. I don't know. But, like, I'll say this. Democratic PACs are pristine in comparison to anything else going on the right. I mean, it is like people paying themselves out millions and millions of dollars. But I think it is jarring, and it would be jarring to Republicans too. Someone teach them how to follow the money, because you think we're jarred by that. Be jarred by what's happening in your own PACs. Like, it's terrifying what's happening on the right. Yeah, you just have no money. That's a great way to put it, Tona. You have no way to control what your money's used for. And I'm just telling you, I feel disillusioned. I don't want to say this, though, because I want to say this. I've said this a million times. Until we get money out of politics, we cannot stop funding winning an election, right? But the full answer is, and the good news is, I think the far right and the far left are so in lockstep on this that it's got to stop. It's got to stop. But until it stops, it's the same thing with AIPAC, right? Like, this is the most disgusting shit I've ever seen. That is a PAC who's doing, literally throwing their weight around and blackmailing people while we watch. But I don't know how black men in New York keep getting elected if that money goes away. I don't know the answer, and I understand how to do math. So I just want to acknowledge, when you look at the finances of any PAC, I promise you it's going to gross you out. But I think you just know, if you think National Ground Game and what those finances look like are sick, which, they are, because people were grassroots. Yeah, it's just, it's not what you think. If you don't like what happened with National Ground Game, don't give your money to PACs. That's the answer, because it's like throwing money into a black hole. But at this point, it is the only way to play in politics. It takes $2+ billion to elect a president. Like, we don't have options at this point. But that is why, like, people are like, oh, run for politics. I can't shut my mouth. I have a mouth that is not going to shut. And there are so many things that bother me. So, yeah, I think it's actually best for me to just do what I do on the internet and educate people because, yeah, I don't like any of the financial part of politics. I can't stand watching it and looking at it. But I do want to, I do want to say, I do think this is personally ridiculous. Like, Taylor Lorenz is now putting out an article saying these people are like, I don't know. I'm actually not even sure what she's claiming, that their opinions are being bought. If you receive money, like I just want to say as an influencer, there's a backside program of TikTok where you can receive money to make a post, right? Let's say it's for, I don't know, Walmart, and you're making an ad. And there's deliverables. I used to work in advertising, so I know there's deliverables. Like, here's the ad. It's for these jeans, and we need you to hit these X, Y, and Z talking points, right? And we'll pay you X amount. Those are the deliverables that come to ad agencies, that come to influencers and their people. And if you don't want to do that, if that's not something you believe in, you don't have to do it. Period. Like, it's not like people are making content they don't believe in, right? Like, that's the thing. I am more concerned about what was going on with Russian propaganda, attendant media. Right-wing influencers were being paid $200,000, it was more in certain cases, plus per post to spread lies. So, I just want to be clear. These people are implying people, and this is, I guess, the top end. But if you have millions of followers, I just want to clarify how this pay scale works. That you should be paid more than $8,000 a post. Like, they're implying people are getting paid $8,000 a month. If there are creators in this group with 1 million followers, they should be paid way more than $8,000 a month. They should be paid way more than $8,000 a post, right? And I encourage anyone who's confused about that. There are different pay scales available on the internet to understand that. It has to do with your following and all of that. But yeah, like, none of that makes sense. Right-wing people were being paid $250. Charlie Kirk was, to spread lies. And I would just say this, like, as people whose brains work, if you're watching a creator, a leftist creator, and they're saying things that are lies, you know what I'm saying? You'll know. Like, if I see a leftist creator lying, then I'm unfollowing them, and I'm going to repost and comment and ask why they're lying, right? Like, but is there anything wrong with not being destitute like I am? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's this idea that if you are not completely in poverty, that you're a crook online. That's crazy. I don't think, but I just thought I needed to talk about that and present the idea, because this is a huge topic of conversation. But when I was doing all of those things for the Democratic Party, everything I did, like my rental cars, like, you guys paid for all of it, and I was bankrupt. Like, that's the truth, because I'm so, like, unsure. Like, I never want to have to, like, tell people, like, oh yeah, I was paid to do something. You know, like, it's so hard. I think it's very hard for leftist creators who are idealists to think, like, is it okay to make a living and not be destitute? Like, that's hard. That's a hard thing to determine. But I just thought I would talk. It's a good conversation to think about, because I promise you, I don't promise you, I know, and I could present a mathematical argument that Taylor Lorenz is like, oh, I'm going to, like, get in with Donald Trump and present some corruption on the left. Like, that is a joke compared to the corruption on the right. I could tie creators being paid back to Donald Trump's super PACs to lie for him, not to amplify ideas that are true or things that are true, but to pathologically lie for him. That's how you get paid on the right. I could be rich as Can you imagine if you woke up and I was like, I'm MAGA now, I'd be rich AF. Every lie I told, I'd be so rich. Like, so if you're ever wondering, like, are leftists like grifters? No, if we were real grifters, we'd be on the right. That's, yeehaw, thank you. That's where all, was that J-Man? Hey, J-Man. Long time, no talk. That's where all the money is. If I was grifting, I wouldn't be doing it over here. I'd be all the way over, and I'm slightly brown. They could claim I'm like Hispanic and black. Can you imagine how much money and a woman? Oh my God, I could clean up. Don't ever wonder if the grifters are over here. Like, the grift, oh my God. Actually, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Let me just show you a grifter. This is real. This is yesterday. Just showing you a grifter who has sold out. And I don't want to do this, but he did it to himself. You know how Caroline Leavitt, like, lets random ass, unintelligent, lying influencers sit in White House press conferences in this, like, little weird side seat? Well, here's who it was yesterday who made up a bunch of feelings or yelled his feelings and lies while citing his millions of followers. Like, I'm just saying, if you are a grifter on the left, like, and you're in chorus and you're a grifter, move right. Like, that's where the money is. Like, this is not the place where you make money.
And I want to ask the question of,
with that, I'll take questions. Here in our new media seat today, we have social media influencer, content creator, Brandon Tatum. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us today. Why don't you kick us off?
Well, Caroline, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And on behalf of everybody that follow me, the millions of people that follow me, I want to say thank you for making a sacrifice and dealing with some of the most disingenuous people on planet Earth at times.
With that,
the millions of white people that follow you, that you either you are Brandon Tatum. I'm going to go ahead and address you directly. You've got millions of white people you're lying to and a couple of brown and black stragglers who have no idea what's going on. And you are pumping this liar up. Do you see what I'm saying? Don't ever, Taylor Lorenz, come over to the left looking for grifters. Like, am I in a nightmare? You can barely live off $8,000 a month in the United States. She's writing that article. You're looking for grifters on the left? Are you? She's lost. Someone needs, if anyone runs into her, help her find her way back over to where the grifters are. Like, this is insane. He's got millions of followers. Bet they're not black and brown people. Bet they're not.
The first question is associated with the shooting that occurred the other day. And I want to ask the question of, we know that it's not a gun thing. Any rational person knows it's not a gun thing. We know it's a mental health issue.
Oh, any rational, logical person who has a supercomputer, who can look up facts on their phone, know that it is in fact an access to abusing. That is the only through statistical analysis, through impact studies, that is the only correct answer, Brandon Tatum. But I know as a grifter who is grifting hardcore, that this must be pathological lying, must be the only way that you make your money. So this is just how I'm highlighting this thing. Taylor Lorenz is implying the left is grifting. If it's the truth, you are just making a living for what you do. If you are antithetical to data, if your thoughts, opinions that you're giving to your quote unquote millions of followers is not data driven and fact based, That is what makes you a grifter. You are making a living off lying to, well, idiot people on the right, where the only right answer is what makes them feel nice inside. I turned it up a little bit so we could all just relive this nightmare. Oh, and it goes on.
The first question is associated with the shooting that occurred the other day. And I want to ask the question of, we know that it's not a gun thing. Any rational person knows it's not a gun thing. We know it's a mental health issue. So I want to know from you, what is President Trump and the White House going to do to address mental health issues around the country associated with these shootings? And the second thing is Chicago. You know, anybody with a connected brainstem knows that Chicago's crime is out of control. And young black men.
Anybody with a connected brainstem. Brandon, your brainstem is not connected. What the? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you guys think? Is he a grifter? Does he know he's an idiot, or is he just an idiot? That's what fascinates me about MAGA. Like, is he doing it on purpose? Or is he this dumb? Do you know what I'm saying? Because, like, Byron Donald, Tim Scott, they know. I don't think there's any possible way they don't know that they're lying. Like, anyone with a connected brainstem? Well, I have a very well-connected brainstem, so I can disprove mathematically everything you're saying. Let's have a moment of silence for this, guys. This is the most disgusting thing. I'm sorry. But yes, I'm going to reset all my gift goals. Thank you for reminding me. It's just when I'm really passionate about things, I stop thinking.
The first question is associated with the shooting that occurred the other day. And I want to ask the question of, we know that it's not a gun thing. Any rational person knows it's not a gun thing. We know it's a mental health issue. So I want to know from you, what is President Trump and the White House going to do to address mental health issues around the country associated with these shootings? And the second thing is Chicago. You know, anybody with a connected brainstem knows that Chicago's crime is out of control. And young black men are getting killed, laying dead in the middle of the streets every single day in Chicago. No president has addressed any of these issues. And so what is the White House going to do to address issues in their capacity to deal with the conflict and violence in Chicago?
Sure. Well, to your first question about this shooting in Minnesota, right now, the administration is focused on helping the people of Minnesota. It's been less than a day, of course, since this tragedy happened. We have federal law enforcement on the ground assisting local law enforcement. This investigation is ongoing. There's still a lot of facts to understand about these circumstances.
The first question is associated with the shooting.
I just can't even speak to the never-ending stream of lies that come out of these people. Hold on, let me say something really quick to get a second. Actually, and let me just, I think the best way to counter a liar is with another intelligent person who's, hold on, I just need to text this. I think I played this like last week, but not all, it's so painful. I don't want to say anything rude, but I want to say everything rude. Like, what are we going to do to address mental health issues? Can we start with you? Brandon Tatum, at whatever break from reality you may or may not be suffering? Let me just say something again, let me play a couple more things and then I can read the proof. But is everyone in America going through a mental health crisis? If you're not, I'm scared that you lack effective empathy and may be a sociopath or a psychopath. Yeah, we all are. Is everyone on medication? No, because Trump keeps defunding people's access to doctors and mental health care. Like, you're asking what they're doing. I can tell you what they've done. They have taken away any access and any hope of anyone ever had of access to mental health. Mathematically, Brandon Tatum, not whatever weird shit and lies you have to say to fluff white people to feel like you're doing something. Factually. If you're saying, which I can mathematically prove is not the case, but if you're saying that every mass tragedy is a result of mental health, then you should not be sitting here fluffing Donald Trump's White House. You should be saying, how dare you steal medical coverage, particularly mental health coverage, from average Americans? That's what you should, and the access to medication that could help them, that's what you should be saying. But apparently, you have never looked up a statistic in your life to understand that not only are you actually an idiot for implying that the reason mass tragedies occur is because of mental health, but now you're not even smart enough to understand that the people you're on your knees for, Donald Trump giving double-fisted Andrew Jacksons to, they're the people that took access away to mental health care, you idiot. Like, I cannot with these people. Like, this is a grifter, Taylor Lorenz. If you're looking for people who are paid to grift, this is what grifting is. People that are selling information that is blatantly a lie, that cannot be backed up by facts, that cannot be backed up by data. This is grifting. If you are a creator on the left who is getting paid $8,000 a month to tell the truth that can be backed up by independent studies, by statistical analysis, by data, super jelly. I'm not there yet myself, but you're not a grifter. You're just a person who is being paid in capitalism to spread the truth. And that's why I wanted to use this weirdo as an example, because that's the difference. If you're confused about what grifting is, which many MAGA people here are confused about grifting, yelling your feelings that are lies is grifting. Sorry, I just get very upset when people say things like that. Let me reset my other gift goal, and then I finally accomplished it. Sorry, this whole week has been a lot for me. Okay, thank you. Give me one. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it so much. Let me. I don't even know if I can go through this, but actually, let me just show some. Well, I'm going to play this clip, and then, depending on my level of annoyance at the grifting, here's another grifter, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And I just want to say, I can back this up by proof. No, not one person at the CDC has briefed RFK Jr. on the lies he tells. We know that now because when they exited, they clarified that this week. That every single thing RFK says when he goes on Fox News is a lie and has never been told to him by the actual scientists, data scientists, medical professionals that work for him. As a matter of fact, they have been begging him to have meetings so they can present actual data to him, actual science, and he has refused at every turn to listen. So if you're looking for a grifter, that's Donald Trump, that's RFK Jr., that's Brandon Tatum, who's showing up to just make up some of his feelings in a press conference yesterday. If you are spreading non-factual, non-mathematical information because you feel like it's true, or worse, you know it's not true, and you're a fascist liar, you are a grifter. If you are just, hey, I need some money so I can pay my rent and feed my kids, and I'm passionate about spreading the truth in the face of a fascist authoritarian takeover, you are not a grifter. That's the difference. Can what you're saying be backed up by double-blind studies, by statistical analysis, by research studies. That's the difference between somebody who is paid to tell the truth and a grifter.
Prevent it, and we're still trying to get a lot of answers to a ton of questions. But the one thing is clear: you are dealing with a person who's trans, that was transitioning. Are you going to be examining at all some of the drugs that are used in order to make that transition happening, to see if it plays a role? Because we also know there was a
Can we? Because this idiot's on him. Are we going to examine testosterone, which he is very clearly abusing? Which, when I have to keep an eye on insecure white males on the right, who are Joe Rogan, who every day is like, just get on that T-gel. What the do you think is involved in transitioning? Hormones. So should we examine him? I think we should. Like, are these people okay? Let's do. That's the point. That's what the Supreme Court cases are about, dummies. Is that these same medications are used when just an insecure guy who's developing a tummy in their mid-30s and feels insecure about it calls a doctor and is like, can I have some testosterone? They can have it. But if someone is trying to transition, they are being denied it. These are common medications being prescribed to everyone for different reasons. Precocious puberty, I could go on and on and on of the reason. Also, anything used in transition of a trans person is prescribed. He's on it now. This guy's on testosterone now. And he can have it, and he can turn himself in. What in the hell color is he? I don't even know. He's on it. So should we investigate his brain? I mean, having nothing to do with the medication that it takes to transition, but all of that medication is commonly prescribed to children and other individuals for different cases. It is all safe.
brand shooter in the Tennessee situation.
Yeah. They named the only that's the only one. I'm just citing, if you weren't here earlier, someone came up here and said, there's 7 trans shooters. I was like, no, there's not. You're a weirdo.
We are doing those kind of studies now at NIH.
I hope we're studying you.
Launching studies on the potential contribution of some of the SSRI drugs and some of the other.
SSRIs are not used in transition. Now we're talking about depression and other issues. That SSRIs are prescribed for mental health issues, and I just want to be very clear. As I read in that statistical analysis earlier, and I went through the entire thing on Wednesday, all of my episodes of the People's Receipts repost to YouTube, there is no statistical correlation between SSRIs and what they are saying is happening and mass tragedies. Zero correlation. And that's a very dangerous one, because you're actually telling people that are in a very dangerous mental state to not take them. There is zero correlation. The only mathematical correlation that has ever existed is between access to pew-pews and these incidents. Period. Forever and always, that's it.
Psychiatric drugs that might be contributing to violence. You know, many of them on there have black box warnings that warn of suicidal ideation and homicidal ideation. So we can't exclude those as a culprit, and those are the kind of studies that we're doing.
So I've never seen that medicine, but you're saying that if you get it, some of the side effects could be homicide, suicide?
Well, there are black box warnings on some of these psychiatric drugs that warn about in their clinical trials that they saw suicidal and homicidal ideation. So, we are going into that with an open mind.
Prevent it.
Like the lies that this dumbass tells, no bounds. I just want to, because I just have to refute it with actual science and math. And this is, every word you're about to hear is actually backed up by studies and statistical analysis. These aren't lies some weird guy that is so orange he's dark brown are telling, whose brain no longer works, and I'm just quoting a person who sat with him in college, that he was so high on H that nobody knew, he never knew where he was, is saying, like, these are actual studies. Wait, hold on. I want to get into the actual. States and cities with higher levels of pew-pew ownership had higher rates of firearm homicides, even after controlling for poverty, urbanization, unemployment. Wait, am I reading the right? I just need to check something really quick. Oh, yeah, I am reading the right one. Sorry. Okay, wait, I just started in the wrong place. Sorry. The U.S. had vastly higher rates of firearm unalivings currently, or crucially, the U.S. did not have higher rates of non-firearm unalivings or overall crime rates. So understand what they're saying is, this is the first point that is mathematically wrong. You're saying this has to do with mental health, right? You're saying there's a bunch of psychos running around with tiny on a bike. Thank you so much. You're saying this has to do with mental health problems running around the United States. But no other means of homicide rates have raised, meaning stabbings, strangulation, any other means of which you could kill someone. If you're saying, hey, the controlling factor in this, and this is just how people whose brains work. If you're saying the controlling factor is mental health and SSRIs, it would not just be pew-pews, right? It would be all types of it would be all types of mayhem. It would be the purge. There'd be people with bats with nails, drilled into them, beating people to death. That's what, if it was a mental health issue. I mean, if your brain worked, but MAGA, your brains don't work. You guys are just weirdos that join lives to scream your feelings. So again, finding the U.S. had vastly higher rates specifically of firearm unaliving. Crucially, the U.S. did not have higher rates of non-firearm unalivings or overall crime rates. So understand, do you get it right there? Anything you feel about it's mental health, it's trans people, it's nope. It's not. You're just wrong. The study concluded that the difference was not explained by crime or mental health, but by dramatically higher rates of pew-pew ownership in the U.S. The overall firearm unaliving rate was strongly and positively correlated with the percentage of households containing any firearm. And there's a mathematical equation I won't bore you with. But yeah, Mega, you can't do math, so I won't bother reading it. You're just tragically wrong about everything you think and feel at every minute of every day. You're like, oh my God, I hate gay people. And I just want to say, that guy that came up, Taco Cat, your hate for trans people, it's so fervent. I'm wondering what it's about. Do you understand what I'm saying? This individual who did what they did on Wednesday morning, and I said that I don't know if anyone looked into it. I'll play a clip after this to back up what I'm saying. I mean, this was a person clearly, like all these little kid pew-pewers, influenced by unbelievable amounts of schmaltzy rhetoric and racism. Like, that is, you want a through thread? Terrifying amounts of right-wing schmaltzy rhetoric and racism. But when you get to the point when you hate, right, so much, you got to look at what's going inside. Do you hate yourself at that point? Like, that's what you need to think about, Taco Cat, when you're trying to accuse other people, of whatever. Like, when you hate something so much, like trans people, why would that be? That's all I'm saying. It's called projection. Freud would read an interpretation of dreams by Sigmund Freud. That would be my advice to you. Anyways, sorry, that was the source, which I can cite sources if anyone wants. State level variations. A 2015 study in the Annual Review of Public Health synthesized decades of research, finding states and cities with higher levels of pew-pew ownership had higher rates of firearm homicides, even after controlling for poverty, urbanization, unemployment, crime, and other factors. So I just want to be clear. That's why when people are mathematically, when, what's his name? J.D. Pritzker just mathematically said, you keep invading blue cities, but if you're looking for the places with the highest rates of homicide, they're red cities. This is the study that backs up what he says. But your brains don't work, so you wouldn't even get it. Studies on specific laws show that repealing permit to purchase laws was associated with a 14.4% increase. So, wait, hold on. So when you take away permits, like what Florida did, when to purchase, you don't need any regulation to purchase weapons. Studies show on specific laws show that repealing permit to purchase laws was associated with a 14.4% increase in homicide or firearm homicide rates. That's from the Epidemiology of Firearm Violence in the 21st Century. The Australian case study, which is one of my favorite, following a mass shooting in 1996, Australia enacted a strict gun control laws, including a mass buyback program, which looked deep into this. It was extreme. Research published in JAMA, which is the most reputable medical journal in the country, and elsewhere, found that the law reform was followed by no further mass shootings, fatality, which in this study was, I just want to clarify, in this particular study in JAMA was identified as fatalities of 5+, and a significant acceleration in the pre-existing decline of firearm homicide and suicide rates. That was from Association Between Gun Law Reforms and Intentional Firearm Deaths in Australia. Was published in 2016. The mental health argument. So this is for MAGA whose brains don't work and then are trying to accuse other people of being mentally unwell. You are mentally unwell. And by mentally unwell, I mean dumb. TFP Bobo, thank you so much for subscribing. I'm trying so hard to get my subscriptions up, that yellow star in the left-hand corner. If you would like to subscribe, please do. Or if you would like to tip me, this is my Cash App and Venmo. I would so appreciate it. If I didn't say it, thank you, Jean, for the $5 on Cash App. Donna, thank you for the $8 as a gift on Venmo. So sweet. And Patricia, thank you for the $5 for not the non-grift. Exactly. If someone's not providing you data, they may be grifting. Thank you. That means the most to me today. The mental health argument. Weak correlation and stigma, which is MAGA's whole thing. Hey, I cannot back this up by data. It's my insecurity and feelings, and I'm trying to attach stigma to whoever I'm pointing at. Whilst actually white males that have been raised in deep-seated racism and far-right rhetoric are the most likely people to commit these crimes. Poor predictive value. A 2021 study in predictive medicine analyzed the mental health histories of mass shooters, finding although a significant portion had evidence of mental health systems, the vast majority did not have a psychiatric diagnosis prior to their attack. The study concluded that mental health illness is not a sufficient nor a necessary cause of mass shooting. Population level analysis. If mental health were the primary driver, countries, and this is the point I always make, and the point that can be proven in hundreds of studies across the world. If mental health were the primary driver, countries with similar rates of mental illness would have similar rates of mass pew-pewings. They do not. Use your brains, dummies. I know you can do it, MAGA. You cannot be this dumb. Well, you are. And again, I'm not speaking to MAGA women, not because I'm not disappointed in you. I just think I'll let the idiot MAGA men that you somehow want to prop up abuse you. You know what I mean? I don't need to abuse you. I'm speaking to the dumb MAGA men who are your abusers. They don't respect you or see you as a human anyways. I don't need to help. You're in your own situation all by yourself. They do not. The U.S. has rates of mental illness on par with developed nations like Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom, but has a mass pew-pewing rate that is orders of magnitude higher. You can do it. MAGA men, you can't be as dumb as you pretend to be on the internet. The differentiating variable is trans people. No, wait, that's not what the study says. That's so strange. It doesn't say trans people. It says the differentiating variable is non-mental health prevalence, but access to pew-pews. What do you know? This whole time I thought it was going to be trans people. Here's the SSRI argument, and by the way, I titled this part, A Debunked and Dangerous Myth. The claim that antidepressants like SSRIs cause mass pew-pewings is not supported by scientific evidence and is actively harmful as it stigmatizes those seeking treatment. MAGA, you might want to get on some. You guys seem unwell. No causal link. And I just want to be clear, I'm not yelling my feelings at you. This is statistical analysis. There is no epidemiological evidence linking SSRI use to mass pew-pewings. This theory is propagated by anecdotal reports. And I said this yesterday. Every single report on Fox News is anecdotal. These are not backed by facts. It is person saying feelings or blatantly lying, one or the other. Anecdotal. Hey, this one thing happened to me. Hey, a brown person attacked me. Therefore, we need to terrorize brown people. Do you understand? That's what an anecdote is. It's not based on data. That's why I say there's no statistical correlation between immigration and crime. But when I was bored and used to debate on TikTok, what did everyone say? I saw this thing on Fox News where an undocumented immigrant hurt someone. Yeah, thanks. And for every undocumented immigrant that hurt someone, there's 1,000 American citizens. Actually, it's more than that, I believe, that do much worse. Like, do you understand the difference between anecdotal stories meant to terrify you and actual math of what is happening in reality? Two very different things. When you control the variables, which is my favorite, statistically, using regression analysis, the evidence points to this conclusion. Strong correlation. Access to firearms, particularly semi-automatic weapons with high-capacity magazines, is the single strongest statistical predictor of a nation's rate of mass public pew-pewings, period. You feel insecure because you're kind of attracted to men, so you feel weird about gay people or whatever your shit is. It does not change math. Access to pew-pews is why this is happening. Say whatever you want. Listen to an idiot who paints himself orange. Yeah, especially while you have a problem. Well, I know the difference. I'm just saying the guy that came up here earlier was saying that if you put a dress on and you are a man, you're trans. And I was trying to explain to him that those two things have nothing to do with each other. So again, you're listening to a guy that puts makeup on every day. Is he trans? Because that was the guy's point. Hey, I have a picture of this guy and he has makeup on and he's in a dress. He's trans. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. But if it does, then so's your weird orange leader who needs a better makeup artist. The prevalence of mental illness, and here's weak and no correlation. That's what this is titled. The prevalence of mental illness in a population does not, that's not, dummies, predict its rate of mass pew-pewings. While some pew-pewers have mental health issues, it is not a reliable or primary explanatory factor at a macro level. No correlation, spurious relationship. The rate of SSRI prescription in a population shows no correlation with mass pew-pewing rates. This theory is rejected by the scientific and medical community. And again, if you are MAGA and you're thinking, that's not true, I welcome you to come up here and refute anything I say. But if you're going to do anything other than, if you're going to yell your feelings, I just don't know what we can do with you at that point. You guys got to stop just thinking you're saying something. Frankie, thank you for the super chat. Sorry, I haven't been looking up. I've been going through some stuff today. Good to see you. It's a little something for your weekend. Love you so much. Steph, I got this money from George. George Soros to pay for your left-wing propaganda. Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I suggest everyone just follow me. I don't have a car. I have zero. I have no assets. I love when people tell me I'm being paid by someone. If I am, please prove it. I literally have nothing to my name. I live in poverty just so I can wait for dummies to tell me that I'm paid by George Soros. That is one of my fave things because... And let's just say we were going to create a weird, and I want to just be clear. I'm talking about school pew-pewers, the kids that seem to be fascinated by going into schools and hurting people. There are some similarities with those kids. You want to know what they are? I'll tell you because someone was talking about it on the news. And let me help you. It's not that they're trans, dummies.
The shooter left behind hundreds of pages of writings that describe the shooter's plan.
By the way, I just want to say this from Wednesday because it's been haunting me. I was never trying to misgender anyone. It's just I'm a very good researcher and I found a bunch of journals and they weren't referring to themselves as trans or anything. It was he, him. So that is why I didn't know any of this. I was reading some of this before it was grabbed off the internet.
Writings that describe the shooter's mental state, and more than anything, writings that describe the shooter's hate. Pure, indiscriminate hate. The shooter expressed hate towards almost every group imaginable. The shooter expressed hate towards black people. The shooter expressed hate towards Mexican people. The shooter expressed hate towards Christian people. The shooter expressed hate towards Jewish people.
I'll finish there. Gay people, trans people. I don't even know if this guy read as much as I did. That is the through line. And I'm talking about when that idiot Taco Cat gave with the beginning. It's it's trans people. No, it's not. The through line is this. I talked about on Wednesday how the last few school shootings, a couple of them, or three of them, I believe, had been found in the same Discord, which was just spewing right-wing schmatzy hate of all of these things. That is the through line. Far-right schmatzy hate. When you look at these school pupils, that is the through line. For some reason, they are all spewing this unbelievable amount of bigotry and racism. And I mean, on a terrifying level.
In short, the shooter appeared to hate all of us. The shooter's heart was full of hate. There appears to be only one group that the shooter didn't hate. One group of people who the shooter admired. The group were the school shooters and mass murderers that are notorious in this country.
That's what I'm saying. If you, and I was saying this on Wednesday, which actually this Pew-Pewer, their manifesto was actually kind of just written to their family, but the majority are these like terrifying manifestos. I said like a bunch of them were in the same Discord, glorifying other Pew-Pewers. That's it. And the through line is they're all far right, unbelievably racist, bigoted schmatzis. That is the correlation. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I can't let, like at that beginning when Taco Cat was trying to spread bigotry, I just don't have it in me to let them talk. But that is, that's the through line, is the insane glorification of the other child school Pew-Pewers and unbelievable amounts of right-wing racism, bigotry, and hate. That's it. That's the only thing these people have in common mathematically that I can see. Anything else you say is just you spewing your own insecurity at us, which maybe that's what you don't like about yourself. Like, that's what I would posit to you. That's not real. That's just you being like, oh, I don't like these things about myself. Oh, wait, what did I just do? I did something bad. Sorry. I just thought And I just wanted to show Maxwell Frost what he said about this because I love him. And, this is his
Today,
platform.
little kids at a
This is his
Association Catholic school were forced into a club that no child should ever join. It's an effed up club, and it's growing because our so-called leaders refuse to act. Gun violence is the leading cause of death for children in America. I'm going to read that again. Gun violence is the leading cause of death for children in America, and every day they refuse to act, more children are sacrificed. We're worried about vaccines and mRNA. We got troops in the streets of Washington, D.C. For safety, and yet if you're a kid in America, your likelihood of dying is greatest at school.
And I like to spell it out even clearer for parents especially. If God forbid your child died tomorrow, the most likely reason would be because of bullets. That's the country we live in. That's the decisions that Republican politicians have made time and time again.
It's not because random American citizens are self-actualizing. But nice try, weirdo Taco Cat. If you wonder why I keep saying that, it's just the guy that came up and tried to spew hate against the LGBTQI community at the beginning of this live and against trans people in particular. The existence of trans people hurts no one. Period. But access to pew-pews is the most likely reason once you birth a child, you will lose them. Not cancer, not any other illness. It is pew-pews. And then once your child when you lose the most important thing and your reason for living, you will be gaslit by a bunch of dumbass, insecure, weirdo white males who won't turn their cameras on and tell you it has something to do with gender identity or sexual orientation, none of which is the case. It is and forever will be. I operate on data-driven and fact-based living. So if and when data tells me a different story, I will tell you a different story. But until then, don't listen to all the people gaslighting you with anecdotal, like, oh, I just worry about trans people. None of that's real. And let me just be real about what is actually real. The people that are most in danger, and I don't necessarily, like, through intersectionality, trans people, but let's say, I don't know, I guess it would be a black disabled trans female, right? That's who's most in danger in this society. Stop pretending, Magabed, that you're in danger of anything. You're not in danger. No one's endangering you. The people who are in danger are trans people. If we were going to concentrate tax dollars to protect a group who are, by per capita, at risk of the most violence, that would be trans people. That would be trans children. If we were going to stop children from unaliving themselves and we were going to try to concentrate money towards that, that would be trans children. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're just insecure weirdos who are like, I just feel like, because I don't know and no one tells me anything, I just say things. That's it. That nothing you feel like is real. You just feel like. And then you listen to Fox News and they're like, oh, these other people feel like too. Yeah, they're lying to you. And here's the best part. They're also stealing from you. Which is actually, if there is any irony that I love about dumbass MAGA, it is that they're being robbed. You know what I mean? They're like, let's go get the gays. Why don't you get the white men that are robbing? Let's go round up the gays and the browns and the blacks. I think they're up to something. Why don't you go click on your supercomputer and figure out who has your money and go after them? Oh, because, I'm sorry, I forgot. The point of the patriarchy is to punch down. You guys are all cowards. Why not punch up? Why not go ask for your money back from the people that have it? Why? Why are you guys such cowards that you're like, excuse me, let me go find a woman to beat on. I'm upset about something. I'm not going to blame who hurt me. I'm going to go abuse someone who's helpless. Why are you guys always punching down? The patriarchy is just a series of cowards who's like, some guy hurt me, so I'm going to go hurt someone smaller than me. You guys are cowards. You will never catch me punching down. Like, I always punch above my weight class in every situation. You will never catch me punching down. But for some reason, all men target helpless individuals and try to hurt them. Now, so when you ask me, am I a man? More of a man than you ever are, by the idea, whatever you guys think a man is. Yeah, more of a man than you'll ever be, for sure. You'll never catch me punching down. Your guys' profession is, I feel insecure, so I'm going to hurt a helpless individual who can't defend themselves against me. I'm too stupid to figure out what's going on, so I'm going to terrorize a minority population. Yeah, I think many women in this country are more men than you guys will ever be. You guys are cowards. That's what the patriarchy is a series of cowards who are like, oh, someone smarter and bigger than me hurt me. And rather than reading a book and figuring out what's going on and fighting back against that, I'm just going to hurt someone smaller than me that can't defend themselves. Be right back. Yeah, you'll never catch me doing that. And yes, in my opinion, every day, as a woman, Division I volleyball player, higher IQ than you, yeah, I am more of a man than you. Of course, you guys aren't men. By definition of what I thought men were, none of you are men. You guys are just weird cowards who are hiding in a corner, refusing to read. Thank you, Emerald, for the $2.22. Oh my God. Stop with the repeating numbers. Thank you for being my mental health and facts guru. Intelligence is everything. Thank you for the repeating numbers. Thanks, Ave, for the $20 on Cash App. Today's receipts. You are stunning. I know. And trust me, if you guys ever catch me in real life, ask anyone who's ever... I am hot as shit. No offense. I just am. That's why it's so funny when men are like, you're ugly. You look like a man. Well, I definitely don't look like you. Hips and nips, baby. All day. Don't look anything like you. I look good. You guys look disgusting and insecure. So if that, sorry, it's just true. I don't know how else to say it. I'm just tired of men saying weird things and bullying people. It's like, bully yourselves. Look in the mirror and bully yourselves. You guys look terrible. But they're like, oh, women are good. That woman looks bad. Are you okay? Can you see what you look like, sir? Sorry, I'm just finding. I want to play this clip of Chris Murphy, which I thought was good. We haven't heard from Chris Murphy on this live in a long time.
Here's what the Vice President, J.D. Vance, tweeted this morning. It's shocking to me that so many left-wing politicians attack the idea of prayer in response to a tragedy. Literally no.
By the way, this is how J.D. Vance, this is what I'm saying. When you want to look at a grifter, J.D. Vance is a grifter, right? Because he is smart. So if you're wondering, like, what's he talking about? Because there's no wiggle room left. Like, J.D. Vance is too smart to blame trans people or whatever. He's like, they're trying, when the left said, thoughts and prayers aren't going to cut it, shut the up, like, do something. J.D. Vance's response, which I'll admit is the last line of logic they have left, is like, they're attacking prayer. That's what they did. That's what J.D. Vance did. He's like, they're attacking thoughts, which, yeah, that's true. We're not attacking thoughts. We're trying to encourage MAGA to think, but that's where J.D. Vance went, which he's much more intelligent than idiots that are like, it's trans people. He's like, they're attacking prayer. So this is what Chris Murphy's response was.
One thinks prayer is a substitute for action. First of all, nobody's attacking prayer. Prayer is important. But this idea that you are going to take action to protect our kids, nobody is believing it. In fact, we've watched this administration take action this year, and every single one of your actions has been to make it more likely that kids are going to get shot to death in schools or on the streets. Let's talk about the actions that...
Honestly, I'm sorry. I just can't do it. Like, and it, you know what makes me really sad? Is that you have to pretend to have a mental health issue to be elected in this country. You have to pretend to believe that prayer is a viable solution, not legislation of gun control. You have to literally sit here and be like, oh yeah, we should. This is not a viable solution, which, by the way, I just want to say meditation, any sort of time where you sit and focus quietly, like, on yourself. Actually, there are mental health benefits to it. Things like prayer, meditation. I could take you on a statistical analysis of that. I'm not saying they're not beneficial, but I am saying when we live in a world where no one can say, hey, prayer's not going to get us anywhere. If we do not pass laws, which Trump is literally in control, the executive branch, the legislative branch. He has a conservative majority on the Supreme Court. He's terrorizing people. He's got the National Guard effing and everywhere and will not do anything about this. But, you know, you can't say like, hey, prayer's not going to get us anywhere. Can't say it. Yeah, dancing spider. Keep praying someone will pay my mortgage. Yeah, it's never happened. I mean, if prayer worked, I'd be just I'd be praying so hard.
You have taken over.
And I'm saying this mathematically, not my thoughts of how dumb MAGA is. thoughts and prayers are not going to save children from, like, the only thing that is unaliving our children. If you get, and this is a part of why I never had a child, also because of epigenetics and my fear of what I might pass down to them through my parents. But if the most likely way your child will perish when you have a child is pew-pew violence, but let's all pray. Maybe that will stop.
The last 8 months, the Trump administration from day one has undergone a relentless campaign to make our kids less safe in our communities. The first thing you did was shut down the entire Office of Gun Violence Prevention. Then you sent out orders to the enforcement agencies to essentially make it easier for criminals to be able to take guns out of bricks and mortar gun stores and put them on the black market. You installed into the most important enforcement agencies that oversee our gun laws pawns of the gun lobby. You ended funding for programs that go to schools to wrap services around kids that are in danger of engaging in violent behavior. You shut down funding for community anti-gun violence programs that were working in communities all across this nation. You have engaged in a purposeful, relentless campaign to undermine the nation's gun laws, to make it harder for schools and communities to prevent gun violence. You've done every single thing the gun industry has asked you. You've taken action, but every single action you have taken has gotten more and more kids killed in this country. So yeah, prayer's important, but it is never a substitute for action. And it is just both offensive and laughable that the Vice President of the United States thinks that he can convince people in this country that this administration is going to do anything other than implement every single thing that the gun lobby and the gun industry is asking for. Here's what.
Love that man. Oh, can Chris Murphy be Gavin Newsom's vice president? I mean, that's the truth. You want to talk about how we're all scared of AIPAC? Let's talk about the NRA and every Republican that's beholden to it. Your children are dying because Republicans are being reelected by the NRA. That's it. I mean, that's the truth. So a bunch of Congress people can hold their positions in Congress while being wildly uneducated and stupid. Like, that's why your children are if there's a chance your children will not make it to adulthood, that's why. I mean, we live in a hellscape. This is oh my gosh, I forgot his first name, but Frey. I wanted to say Brandon. What is the mayor of Minnesota's first name? I know his last name is Frey. I hate when I can't remember things. But I always know you guys will remember for me, so I don't have to remember things. What's the mayor of Minnesota's first name? This is him speaking briefly. Is it? Whatever it is. Someone tell me in the comments and then I'll apologize. Is it Brandon? Did I guess right? No. Is it well, it's Frey for sure. Like, it's Frey. I know that much. Hold on. Let's see what I Google Brandon Frey, what comes up. I feel like I'm talking about like a character in a... Is it Jacob? Okay, Jacob. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, here we go. Thank you.
So what is the action that you think politicians need to take in light of what has happened here and what happened?
Brandon is the mayor of Chicago's name. I think that's why I was thinking that.
In schools and public areas across the country right now, mass shootings are an almost daily occurrence.
I'm a mayor and I operate in the reality business. And the reality is that we have more guns in America than we have people. The reality is that we have these assault rifles that can reel off 30 clips in conjunction with a magazine before the person even needs to reload. The reality is that these guns make their way into cities across America by the trunk load, and it's terrifying. And so, look, we need an assault weapons ban nationwide. We need to have this high-capacity magazine ban. And finally, if the federal government isn't going to act or states aren't going to act, Give us the ability to protect our constituents at home. Give mayors and council members the ability to protect in Minneapolis, 435,000 residents that call Minneapolis home and the many more that come and go. We need to stand up for the safety of every one of these kids and do it out of love. Don't do it out of hate. There's more than enough hate out there. Do it out of love for our children.
I just realized, I just was monitoring the live on my, I turned on, you can monitor the live from a cell phone. I've been banned. I got a violate. I don't even know why I didn't see it, but I'm on limited views. I think I might just immediately restart this live really quick. And I'm just going to end the live and come back because I just looked at on where I can monitor the live on my phone, and I have 2 violations that are unappealable, and I didn't pop up on my screen. So I'm just gonna restart the live really quick, and then we'll see how it goes, because I have no idea how those, I don't know. But again, I'm literally gonna end the live and I'm not gonna stop Twitch and YouTube. I'm just going to start and stop the live because I didn't see that. Okay, BR.
They have to make the food. Beat Ups takes forever to make the fucking food, dude. 20 boneless wings plus fries for 20.
Oh, bro, get it.
Okay, there we go. I think we're okay now. Sorry, I just didn't even realize I got those violations. And I was like, why am I trapped in purgatory? I think we're good. I don't know. So you guys might have on YouTube and Twitch were watching someone play a weird video game for a second. So, sorry about that. I just wanted to restart the live because I hate when I'm in trouble for something and don't know it. I don't ever do anything wrong on purpose, so at least tell me if I do. Let's get some people back in here and tap the screen, share the live. Maybe we should debate. I feel very angry about the things we keep talking. I'm so annoyed with people. Oh yeah, I know what I want to show. Yeah, I have these really good videos. Let's get some people in here. If anyone wants to debate while I'm waiting for people to come in here, please request. How do I, here, let me change this and see. How do you edit something? I'm going to change this. Sorry, what? I'm trying to make a sign. Can you enter or make, no. Wait, why does it not look like that? What the? Oh, never mind, hold on. I got it. I can do this. If you are here and you would like to debate, I'm open to it because of my general annoyance today. But, here, I'm gonna make a sign, because why not? Wait, what should I say? My good men are not smart. Let's just make it giant. Oh my god, that cat massaging my head. That's the best. Can you guys see this? Is this okay or is it too big? Here, let me make it in line with this other thing. if you would like to debate, you're welcome to join. I am not open to it. Oh, what happened? It's just I realized when I was monitoring the live on my phone, and you can check violations, and I realized that 2 hours ago I had gotten I don't know how to say it. I don't know if there are violations, but it's just, well, I think so, but they didn't pop up, and they're just you are not going to be found in search anymore. And that had happened literally 2 hours ago. So and I was like, oh, cool. So I just restarted the live. And then I was just thinking based on other people's idiocy and my annoyance, because I saw a message I had got from someone that I was like, yeah, if anyone wants to debate me, I'm open to it, but I just wish you would have something to say other than your feelings. I don't know why Magaman send me messages and say I'm dumb. I'm not dumb. You're dumb. If you have something to say other than you saying your feelings, then tell me what they are. Just I'm not dumb because I'm talking about math and you're just I feel like people are trans. Thank you for the tiny diny. I appreciate it so much. Oh, I should reset gift goals. I'm not even going to bother. I have so many things. I wanted to show, actually, I think I'll play this. I wanted to show a couple clips. I was like, whatever I do, I'm getting through these clips. Okay, so this is a guy, in Texas who, in Texas, they're just smashing people's First Amendment rights. And then this guy spoke at a, city council meeting, and then his lawyer spoke after. Oh my gosh, thank you for the butterfly mask. And then I'm going to, I just got another violation. What the am I doing wrong? I didn't do anything. I just stated a few facts. Whatever. But let's listen to this. So again, this is a man's lawyer who's speaking at a Texas city council meeting being he can say anything he wants. I think they removed someone for swearing, and then this lawyer got up and for 2 minutes and 45 seconds was like, let me give you a legal lesson on the First Amendment, which I have watched this 5 times today. It's awesome.
Yep. Mr. Mayor, City Council, my name is CJ Grisham. I'm a civil rights attorney here in Texas, and what I just witnessed was a violation of Mr. Followell's rights. Let me read something to you. Arresting someone in retaliation for the exercise of free speech rights is sufficient to chill speech as an understatement. This is Beck v. City of Upland. Arguing, even if done loudly with a profane or offensive language will not, in and of itself, constitute disorderly conduct. That's Payne v. Pauley. Swear words do not provide probable cause for an arrest for disorderly conduct because the words, as a matter of law, are not fighting words. Johnson v. Campbell. I could go on, Mr. Mayor. Your rules of decorum are unconstitutional, and they're setting the city up, you individually, for liability. Now, you will be seeing a letter from me, a demand letter for violating my client's rights just now, because he has the right to say whatever. Oh. He has the right to say all of those words because it is a First Amendment right. You can't do anything about it. Let me tell you something. The law has long established that arresting an individual for publicly displaying vulgarities violates the First Amendment. That's the Cohen case, 1969. Indeed, the Supreme Court recently held that a public school violated the free speech rights of a cheerleader by suspending her when she said things like softball, cheer, everything. Then there was another, that's Mahoney Area School District v. BL. There's also Eachus v. Steelman, saying that a police officer was not entitled to qualified immunity for arresting a plaintiff who said, you. Did you hear that?
Here we go.
No qualified immunity. So I can say throughout my entire 3 minutes, I can say again, and I can say again, and there's nothing you can do about it because it's called expressive speech. We are allowed to express ourselves. We are allowed to talk about what we think about you. If I think you, Mr. Mayor, are a tyrant, I can say that. If I think the city manager is a piece I can say that. It's protected. This is the case law. I don't give a shit what you think. The law is right. You escort me out, I'll sue you as well, Mr. Mayor.
Do whatever you want.
This is the law right here. And if these chiefs come out here and pull me out of this meeting, you had better read this, chief, because he's telling you to break the law.
That's the real First Amendment, protected speech. You can't be silenced by the government, not MAGA men telling me that, or going to Pickles Live and say, I violated their speech by blocking them. Yeah, that's the general difference. Oh, and this is my favorite. So again, I restarted my live because I realized I had weird violations for things I never did that were limiting the sight of my live. So yes, if you are a MAGA man who happens upon this live before it is, before it is limited again from the general internet and you would like to debate, you're welcome to come up here. Maybe I should write that. Request if you want to debate, because I'm getting super annoyed with people trying to say I'm doing something wrong. This is a reporter who was... I've never seen better Donald Trump slander. And again, this is someone on TikTok who reposted this, so I don't have the whole clip. I should go find it, but man, this is beautiful. I don't know if you guys know this, but Trump has been implying, actually since January, but he started saying it again, that he's, what do I want to say? He's stopped 10 wars now. He's got ceasefires in 10 wars. All of that is a absolute pathological lie, but he continues to say it. He said, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, that he should get a Nobel Peace Prize for all the ceasefires he has negotiated. He has not negotiated one ceasefire. It is now officially 2 weeks to the day, by the way. Remember how Trump, he said this 2 weeks ago to the day, MAGA men who can't count because none of you can. He said, hey, talk to me in 2 weeks. The war with Putin, we'll be in a better place with the Ukraine war. We're in a worse place. Putin has rained down unholy hell on he's not at war with Ukraine. He's hurting civilians through drone warfare. He's targeting civilian soft targets to unalive them. So Trump said literally 2 weeks ago, in 2 weeks, all of this will be solved. It is 2 weeks to the day. So I just want to point out, Trump has done not a thing about the Ukraine war. And this is my new favorite reporter who is somewhere, I assume in India. We should find her. Some people
in this
can say
breaking
the
story,
truth.
which you cannot miss, you have to watch the whole thing. Check out how brave and brilliant this correspondent from India is, calling Trump out, making fun of him, and saying the truth out loud from A to Z right here.
If only Donald Trump was president in the 20th century, so much could have been avoided. The First World War, the Second World War, the nuclear arms race, the Cold War, Trump could have prevented all of it. After all, his surname is ceasefire. We know that all politicians are full of themselves. They can be arrogant and boastful. But Trump is one step ahead. He is shamelessly full of himself. And we saw an example of that yesterday. The White House openly demanded a Nobel Peace Prize for Donald Trump. Listen to this.
The president has now ended conflicts between Thailand and Cambodia, Israel and Iran, Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, India and Pakistan, Serbia and Kosovo, and Egypt and Ethiopia. This means President Trump has brokered, on average, about one peace deal or ceasefire per month during his 6 months in office. It's well past time that President Trump was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize.
I think she missed a few there, like Tom and Jerry, Harry Potter and Voldemort, Batman and the Joker, and Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. If you're going to make fake claims, might as well go all in. It's been a hallmark of Donald Trump. He claims credit.
So in this breaking story,
if we had reporters who would tell the truth here. Again, let me show you. I was just saying, you remember how Donald Trump, and by the way, if you are dumb enough, which, cool, this is my new favorite. Oh my God, I wish that would never end. I should just wear that around. If you are dumb enough to think that Trump's ended any wars, I would invite you to request, why am I I seemingly see? I'm telling you, I'm in trouble. I got these weird violations. That's why I restarted the live, and I think I might be in trouble. I want to show this. Hold on. I'm trying to think of where it is. I gotta. Oh, wait. Was it JD Vance? Yeah, it's JD Vance. JD Vance gave this interview this morning, and they were like, hey, by the way, it's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks of Donald Trump saying he was going to do something. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is a good one. Remember, Donald Trump's asking, he had Caroline Leavitt asking for a Nobel Peace Prize. He's never ended one war, let alone the Ukraine war, which was supposed to be ended on day one. And it's 2 weeks to the day that he tried to blow Putin on that red carpet. And he's like, I'll tell you in 2 weeks, when Hannity was asking him, like, oh, what do you think, like, the outcome of this is going to be? The outcome is the usual. Absolutely effing nothing.
To the day since President Trump met with Vladimir Putin in Alaska. After that meeting, after he met with Zelensky a few days later, he came out and said the big achievement from that was he was setting up a one-on-one between Zelensky and Putin. That hasn't happened.
Right.
Russia has given no indication it's about to happen. In the meantime, they just launched their second largest aerial assault on Ukraine.
Second largest to the first largest, which is the day after Trump pretended by trying to blow Putin on a red carpet he had done something.
Since the war began, he was setting up a one-on-one between Zelensky and Putin. That hasn't happened.
Right.
Russia has given no indication it's about to happen. In the meantime, they just launched their second largest aerial assault on Ukraine since the war began. Are you satisfied with this progress?
Well, I'm satisfied with President Trump's efforts. I mean, he's showing that strength and resolve and direct engagement makes a big difference, and he is a force of nature in that regard. Look at what he's done, negotiating ceasefires and peace deals and normalization of relations of countries that have long been at odds. That's very positive steps on the world stage. So the Russia-Ukraine conflict, as we know, is very complicated. They're moving in the right direction.
You say efforts, though. Wouldn't you like to see results? What results have you seen?
Of course. Everybody around the world would like to see results.
Do you think if Congress passed its own sanctions, it might put pressure on Russia to act in ways that President Trump hasn't been able to get them to?
It may come to that, and I'm in favor of that. I do not trust Vladimir Putin. He is not an honest broker in this. He's a former KGB operative. He's the aggressor here. There's no question about that, and he must be dealt with accordingly. So we'll see how this goes. Ukraine and our European allies and others around the world have extended a hand of peace, moving forward positively, and let's see what happens with that negotiation. We're all prayerful that it resolves quickly, and so is President Trump. He wants an end to the war, and he's the strong force that can help bring it about.
Imagine being so dumb and so impotent that is your answer. Like, you're not allowed to be like, yeah, I have no idea what's going on. Nothing's changed. As a matter of fact, mathematically, it's gotten worse. I did invite Jason up here. I just want everyone to know. Jason, you said that I need a real MAGA man. I mean, if Mike Johnson's not a real MAGA man, which, yeah, he's definitely not a man. I agree with you. Trump's not a man. Mike Johnson's not a man. So if you aren't, I invited you up here twice to explain to me what type of man I need. I am open to that conversation. I am actually technically attracted to men. It's just like, you guys make me physically ill lately. But you said, there you are, Jason, again. Let me just request again. You can do it, Jason. Get up here. Just explain to me what type of man I really need. One that makes up lies, obfuscates, carries water for another pathological coward. Like, what is a man? I'm super interested in that. Like, what kind of man is this? What kind of man is Donald Trump? They're just cowards and liars. This is not a man. Hold on. Yeah, Jason's not going to come up here, I think. What, you on another platform? What does that mean, Robert? I'm serious. Like, MAGA men. I'm interested in. Can you? Some of you restore my faith in men on the right. Can someone come up here and defend MAGA men and explain to me? Oh yeah, I have way more balls than MAGA men for sure. Like, but honestly, can any of you come up here? Like, is there a representative of MAGA men that would like to speak for you? There's none of you that have anything to that have the. Are any of you brave enough to come up here and explain to me what's going on with MAGA men? Because I'm quite interested. I'm fascinated. Because there seems to be so many contradictions. Oh, sorry. Let me take my... Is this better? I'm sorry. I can't... Wait. Let me make it smaller. Is this better? If anyone wants to come up here and explain... And MAGA men, can you come up here and explain to me what is going on with you guys? I would like to hear it. I am waiting. Jason, where did you go? I requested you to come up here and you ran. It's super strange. Where are these people? Like, are people okay? You guys bully people 24 hours a day, and when someone asks you to explain something, no one will come up here. Can someone explain to me what's wrong with MAGA men? What, like, are you... Yeah, I know they're scared. They're always scared. Like, that's the thing. And if you are just like, oh, like, if they feel like you're a little bit like confused as a woman, then they'll request, they're like, oh, let me just tell you something about yourself. But if you know what you're talking about, MAGA men are like, oh, I just can't seem to find the request button to come up and say something. Like, that's the truth. I should look, this is, as long as we're doing a fun exercise, I'm gonna unblock MAGA men. I have so many people that like actually terrifyingly harass me. I'm gonna unblock them. Let's just see. There's no MAGA men that want to explain to me what's wrong with them right now. Or like, let's debate. What do you want to debate? You want to talk about your belief that trans people are the reasons school pew-pewers are happening? You want to talk to me about abortion? What is it you want to talk about? I'm willing to talk about anything. This is your chance. This is your chance. I'm just feeling very generous today here. What was... I know even Jana, I'm going to unblock you for, even though you said something disgusting on Thursday. No, I can't unblock David. He drives me insane. I refuse. I just can't unblock David. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. No, they usually come up here and want to talk about something. I do say pew-pews. I think I got some weird violations. That's why I restarted the live, so I don't know. Hold on a second. I want to check I can monitor. I just want to check if I'm in trouble. There we go. So again, we're waiting for some MAGA men who want... I don't have any violations on this live as of now. So hopefully let's tap the screen. Can we all tap the screen, share the live? Oh, I would never unblock Hoodie. I would never. Like, no. He's the dumbest. Bless his heart. He's so... Like, I can't. I'm past having circular arguments with people whose brains don't work. Like, I guess new people whose brains don't work I'm open to, but never again. Like, I was so nice to someone. He is literally an idiot. We're just waiting for MAGA men to explain to me. I'm just saying MAGA men are not smart. That's what I'm wondering, is when some MAGA men will and they are cowards. Should I add that to the point? MAGA men, you are cowards. Request to debate me. I don't even care what it's about. Come up here and debate whatever you think you know about. Do you think you know about anything? Come up here and make a claim, and I will prove you wrong. I mean, unless I agree with it, because again, if you are a far right MAGA person that holds those beliefs, I don't believe them to be factually nor mathematically true. But if you are not a coward, then request and let's have a debate. Remember how you guys said women's brains don't work? If you are not scared, then come up here and let's have a debate about something. MAGA men. Yeah, can everyone share the live with 10 idiot Republicans? Maybe I should share the live with some Republicans. I just think it's super strange that no one wants to come up here and explain to me what they know. Yeah, exactly. Tell me if you have something to say that means something. I want to learn. Teach me something, MAGA men, other than you are insecure and you punch down on women. MAGA men, where are you? We are waiting to have a debate about something. Where are you? MAGA men, we are trying to talk to you right now and you are not showing up. MAGA men, do you have everyone please send an invite to like 10 idiots that follow Donald Trump that you know. I'm just trying to I want to talk about the pew-pewing on Wednesday or, whatever it is, the big, beautiful bill, the economy, inflation. You guys all think you know about math. Let's talk about math. This could be your thing. You could learn about math or you could teach me about math. I don't think that's actually going to be how it goes, but whatever. MAGA men, where are you? Why don't you guys want to talk? Yeehaw. Why don't you guys want to teach me something? Snuggles. Oh my God. Snuggles was in here? Then that must be his 17th account I don't have him blocked on. He's the dumbest person on earth. Quite literally, the dumbest person on earth is Snuggles. He's just like, I'm gonna yell loudly things I don't know about. I'm a fucking idiot. Loudly yelling things. That makes me a man. Yeah. And then I do some weird thing with my eyebrow and I think it makes me intelligent. I have never stated an accurate fact nor cited a source in my life. I just yell things. Yeah. Anyways, why don't any MAGA men want to talk? None of you have anything to say. Super strange. Okay, let's just all keep tapping the screen. I'm sure they're going to come. I'm sure. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. I got confused with what I'm doing. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can. MAGA men, we're trying to talk to you about how... You have... Oh, yeah. It's... Wait, what is happening? Oh my God. I think I have to restart the live. I don't know what's going on or what they're saying. They're like, hold on. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I'm so confused. I don't think I have violations, but it's implying like I haven't done anything wrong. Why have I have not done anything wrong. I don't have technical violations. I think it should be okay. Sorry, I'm just going through. I'm trying to figure out if I have like violations on my live. I don't think I do. Why do I always get accused of doing bad things? What have I done? All I'm asking is to have a nice, reasonable conversation with MAGA men about why they have no idea what they're talking about. Like, tap the screen, share that we're trying to get some MAGA men in here who want to talk. Oh, we should invite, what's that guy's name that actually people tell me that whenever he talks to me, they get actually mentally triggered. But I'm just going to invite some people. What's that guy's name? Yeah. Am I literally, like, I think I might be, my live is shadow banned, but it says I'm not. So I'm confused. I don't think I'm shadow banned, but it seems like I might be, so I don't know what to do about it. Tapped myself out. I know, like, I don't know. I have no idea, like, why it seems my life. It says I'm not. I don't have any violations, but then it's like, I don't know. It also says weird things I've never seen. I got a weird pop-up, but I think I'm okay. No, I know. Everyone's tapping. So am I. I'm, like, tapping on my iPad where I, like, project it to YouTube and Twitch. I finally want to talk to people, and then they don't want to talk to me. Should I restart? I don't know. Have I been live in this live for 29 minutes? That's crazy. Sorry. Hold on. Hold on. I'm looking on my phone. You see, this is what it is. I told you. I do. Thank you. I am in trouble, and I don't. Under review. I am. I have. See, I had to open my phone. It doesn't. My live doesn't pass our review. It says to appeal. Why? What am I doing? What have I... See, this is what I'm saying. I don't do anything wrong. It says that my live doesn't pass their standards and I need to... Or something, and I need to appeal. Hold on. Let me reopen, because I tried to push whatever it said to appeal and it wouldn't let me. Let's see. Wait. Now I can't appeal. What have I done wrong? Man, I must be really in trouble. Read more. I have never done any... I'm like the nicest person. Yeah. Apparently I've done... Shit. I have like those... Whatever. I don't know. I think I need to restart. Or let me just... I'm just gonna restart lives just to see, or to restart my live, but I might be in trouble. I have all these like live under review, live under review, live under review, live under review, but they're not violations. And then it says view more, and then it says nothing. So I don't know.